Here we go. Good morning, humans from around the world. Also, good morning, aliens pretending to be human for some sort of nefarious purposes. Good morning, animals who are on top of each other's shoulders in a trench coat, trying to be human so you can buy human goods from the store, like food that you want, or things like that. It's time for day 2 of the closed bracket here for the Queso Cup Golden Edition. Yeah, I know the sound wasn't working right, but you know what? Or I know the sound was working with the camera, but that was the whole intro thing. I put out us not on camera for the intro, and then we come on camera once the intro's over. Have you guys never, are you guys new here? Are you new here? Well, guess who's not new? Well, maybe new to the channel, but not new to Clash Royale. I'm talking Team Liquid Season 1 of Clash Royale League. I'm talking World Cyber Games champion. Wave the American flag over there in Xi'an, China. That's my buddy right there. Over to my, I guess my left, your right. There you go. That's Juicy J. You saw him cast yesterday. Back here today for some duo action. Juicy, how the heck are you? Glad to have you here.
I'm doing fantastic, Rich. How about you?
You know, I think that today is going to be a day where people play Clash Royale on various devices, phones, tablets, maybe even fridges if we're going with the full KFC Clash style. And at the end of that, one of them, actually many of them, will have accumulated enough points to move on in this tournament. And Juicy, do you know what's at stake here in this tournament?
I don't. Why don't you let me know, Rich?
Oh, my word. Well, first of all, there are 50,000 American dollars. That's a lot. That's a lot of money. You could buy 50,000 items at the Dollar Tree, or more potentially, depending on what price point you're hitting. You could also buy one mid-range Toyota Highlander, which is a really solid car all the way around. And on top of that, though, something maybe even more important, Juicy, that's going to be a trip to the Clash Royale League World Finals. The top 16 from yesterday and today move on to our next weekend championship, where one person gets that golden ticket and a trip to Worlds. And I'll give you guys some info soon onto, and here's our gameplay audio. So let me go ahead and confirm that this is one of our matchups here, folks. Phase 2, let me go ahead and look for Remy Eli. No, this is, oh no, that was from day 1. All right, hold on. Hold on, folks. We got this. It's a unique production schedule and cadence. Okay, so this is an official match. Here we go. Your first match of the day. Remy Eli against Sub. Do you know who Sub is, Juicy?
No, I do not. I do know who Remy is, though.
Dope. I'm with you on that.
He creates some really good content. He's known for minor wall breakers, magic archers, tornado deck. But yeah, he's definitely a really good player. He went pretty far yesterday. I think to the second or third round.
Remy, I mean, Remy's one of the so when you get to like sort of the different levels of this game, right? Of who's playing top tier pro, who's kind of semi-pro and stuff like that. Like, just to put this in context, Remy's a guy who I have cast a few of his matches, right? So when you start getting to that point, that's when you're kind of like crossing over into, hey, I'm like starting to really be in the mix competitively. So not the same thing as like the big names who I've cast hundreds of matches for, but certainly someone who's on the board at least. Let's see. Klutzskull Gaming saying your glasses are lit. Thank you very much. Shout out Gooder, Game Gooder, for all your glasses needs. My friends and partners. Is Stream Deck OP today? Let's see. Oh boy. Wait a second. Is Stream Deck OP today? Oh, look at that. Link in the chat, boys. Use code RICH, 50% off for your sunglasses. Boom. That's what's up.
Nice.
So I went through a little phase playing this 3M pump mirror deck myself, Juicy. And it seems like the basic idea here is get a pump down, get a Golden Knight down, and then get another pump, a mirrored pump down. So they have to respond, and also there's a bunch of pumps on the board.
Yeah, I mean, pump is OP now after the buff. A lot of people are calling for nerf. Just because whenever you place it, you're almost guaranteed to get that +1 or +2 trade. Remy picking a really nice deck pick though. Actually maybe predicting he was going to play Pump and getting the Earthquake. Earthquake's the only spell that gets a positive elixir trade versus Pump now.
All right, one of those ones where like an Earthquake, the nerf in general, and that's where the weird thing, right? So it gets the positive elixir trade, but then also you have the nerf on the flip side of it. So Pump certainly strong at the moment. Let's see, is Trainer Adnan in? I guess he was in the clan. He's in a match, right? I also see you. Oh, KK's up. Let's go KK.
Yeah.
Let's definitely go KK, folks. Here we go, going KK. Oh, it's KK versus Yuya. Folks, if you came in here to see Remy Eli against Cav, the rest of it, I'm very sorry, but it's KK versus Yuya. This is kind of one of those ones that we're going to stick with for the remainder of round 1 here.
So it looks like we got a Graveyard versus Drill. Both of these decks pretty popular. I've seen them both on day 1.
Yeah, this Drill variation, there's a few different drill. This is more like the ASAF style where you're playing Drill Wall Breakers, which, those of you who watched yesterday saw ASAF go to the top 2 overall in yesterday's competition. Very talented player out of Israel. Has come, I think, number 2 on ladder as his best finish. But various sort of bridge spammy combinations of the Drill are around right now. There's a variation that looks just a lot like this one, but that plays the Golden Knight instead of the Bandit. No building. I think Snowball is in there instead of the Fire Spirit. It's very cool.
Yeah, in this version we have the Magic Archer Tornado, which is also kind of bridge spammy. Magic Archer plus Tornado combo is a big threat. You can take towers extremely quickly. Wow, look like KK is just applying a lot of pressure at these Graveyards though.
Wallbreaker does not connect at the bottom left-hand side. Drill to the opposite lane. That's where he wants to go right now. But, of course, Valk in cycle. And Valk, Dark Prince, 2 nasty counters to that Drill, although the Fire Spirit damage does get in for a bit of chip here. Final 30 seconds. KK in the lead, but not by a lot.
Yeah. Let's see if any Graveyard damage can come through here. Looks like a lot of it's coming down. And then the arrows... Like, as long as a couple hits from a Zappies come out on the Magic Archer's arrows are able to take him out. Looks like missing the prediction on the Drill, but we get a Valk down.
And Wallbreaker's trying to break through on the left-hand side. NATO trying to get some damage in. Magic Archer gets 1. Magic Archer's not get 2. That's going to be a GG well played. KK taking what I imagine is game 1 over Yuya. But who knows? We're not entirely sure. Hail D Planet over on Twitch asking, how do I watch day 1 of this? Well, the answer is very easy, my friend. It's go to my friend Juicy J's channel on Twitch. The video, I believe, should still be up and available for you. And yep, we're going to bring it to you. Here we go. And I've got Morton top of my screen, Hasiel on the bottom. I don't know if you have access, if you're in this clan as well, Juicy, on a different account.
I'm watching.
Cool, here we go. So Morton Hasiel, this is a round 1 matchup. Where can you guys see standings? Let me go ahead and see if my button. I know that it's in the chat here. Let me go ahead and do a little reconfiguration here for you folks. 1 second. The brackets are going to be the one bracket you can get in the link, and then I'm also going to, let's see if this works. Try to drop the bracket right now down into chat on YouTube, on Twitch. I don't know if I have this thing set up to go there as well. Nope, that button only goes to YouTube. And I've been getting word here from Satisfied GR that Morton is up 1 in this matchup. So there you go. I'm gonna kill.
Looks like he's
that music.
Looks like he's running a pretty popular, kind of trendy Golden Knight Royal Giant deck. I haven't seen it much outside of this competition, but obviously with the duels format, have to use some cards that you wouldn't normally use. And it looks like we're going to be having like a Golden Knight instead of like the Giant Skeleton, for example, or maybe a Skeleton King.
What about Light, says Nikunj Pranav and Pandav, sorry. And Mohammed Light, he won yesterday, which should be enough points to guarantee him a passage through to our next phase. So Mo Light's in a good position. Benedict Breweras saying, don't make fun of me, but does B-Rad play CRL? B-Rad used to play CRL and no longer does. He's now a full-time, nearly 500,000 or past 500,000 YouTube subscribers, content creator. Whatever. B-Rad's just doing his thing on YouTube right now and doing it big. So not so much pro play anymore, but former CRL player in B-Rad. But I don't think you guys ever played against each other in CRL, Juicy, because I think you guys were in opposite leagues.
B-Rad? I'm not sure if I've ever played against him.
Because you were in, for CRL, you were in EU and he was in NA.
Yeah, for Season 1, yeah.
Go ahead, sorry, I think I've cut you off twice.
Yeah, I was just like, speaking of content, can we talk about how Morten is able to like stream every day, post on 2 different YouTube channels every day, and still like be at the top level and compete?
It's actually insane. I mean,
yeah, I don't know how he does it.
It's in some ways, and some of the people here watching are going to burn me on this one. It is in some ways more impressive than what anybody else does in Clash Royale. Like because he's competing at a top 10 level, arguably higher, but that minimum at a top 10 level in the world, while doing all of that stuff.
100% agree.
Yeah, it's craziness. Anyone who knows the YouTube
arrows that came down was crazy. It just deleted the fisherman and the hunter off the field to connect that cannon cart. That was well played from Hasiel.
RG does get pushed back here by the cage. Fireball to get some cleanup work. Morten putting pressure on, does get one more shot out of it. 17:37 is a mark to 11:74 the opposite direction. So it is Hasiel with the lead. And, you know, Morten from a graveyard perspective on defense, Hunter can do an okay job placed on the inside corner. Earthquake is underrated against Graveyard, but still kind of a difficult position. No 100% ideal counter for Graveyard in this deck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about Graveyard that makes it strong, though, right? It seems like no matter what you're using, even if it's like a poison, the quote-unquote perfect counter, you're always taking some hits, potentially, based on, like, the RNG of the Graveyard.
Good patience there from Morten to let the tower take care of the Skeleton King. And now EQ used on offense. We'll see how quickly Hasiel pushes the opposite direction. Graveyard in immediately seeing that EQ around. Fisherman almost betrays Morten. So here's the question. Can the EQ and a log get enough damage here to beat this out? No, it's not. Hasiel pulls the rug out from under Morten. GG, well played. We are all tied up, from what I've been told, 1-1 between the very talented young player and the long-standing top-tier champion in terms of Morten.
Wow, that game was close. I was really scared for Hasiel there. That Hunter taking that pop shot. Hunter does a lot of damage.
We're going to hang out here and wait for Morten Hasiel game number 3 to come up. In the meantime, here's Sergio Ramos up against Snowdrop. And I believe in his first round matchup. And keep in mind here, the winner of this matchup will play the winner of Hasiel Morten. And someone asked me, what about Mugi? Mugi is facing off against Pandora in the first round. So if we can get out of this, if Hasiel Morten ends early enough, we will go and check out the Mugi matchup. And guys, that bracket link, you can go to that bracket link and check out all of the information yourself. Just make sure you switch the tournament tab to Q2, to day 2 there. And you can go on there and check all those things out on your lonesome. And make sure you get all the information as to how people are performing so far in this event. And those of you who are just joining us, if you haven't yet, by the way, my name is Rich Slayton, caster for Clash Royale League. This is my YouTube channel for those of you coming in from inside the Clash Royale app. We're also streaming live on Twitch, and that's my sub link. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's the best way, easiest way to support the content you're seeing. And right now, maybe a little easily supported push coming in from Sergio Ramos, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, this matchup's interesting. Going with a double barrel bait versus the Mega Knight. I think the longer this game goes on, like obviously Snowdrop has a damage lead right now, can apply a lot of pressure with these double barrels, but the longer this games go on, I think the higher chance that Sergio can win just by having really good Mega Knights and then counter pushing off. But this game might be over really soon with his Dark Goblin connecting. Snowdrop doesn't have a big spell to finish off this game. Sergio is never out of it here, but it's definitely looking bleak.
Doesn't have any direct damage spells. This is one of those things where it's, you know, you sit there going, hey, if I can just prevent all the damage. But the problem is he has no real way to prevent all the damage from anything here. And you see that even the double drop even dropping 12 elixir can't stop the damage from the Goblin Barrel. Golden Knight dives on in. Sergio Ramos down 1 here. We'll go ahead and see if our Hasiel-Morten matchup has moved into game number 3. Enjoy it together. There's the music. And there's, just in time for the music to come in, here we go. Let's jump into the Hasiel-Morten matchup. Here we go.
So this is game 3. Whoever wins this is going to continue on.
That's right. And I don't remember how many points Morten earned yesterday.
He got up to round, I think round 3 actually. No, I think he got knocked out by Muhammad Light in round 2, so I think only 1 point.
So definitely important matches here for Morten to stay alive in the Queso Cup. And now some of you saw, hey, but what were people playing in on Friday and then also today, earlier? Or maybe it's later today. The ESL Snapdragon Pro Series is also taking place right now. Today will be the second of 6 open qualifiers for the EU MENA region, Europe, Middle East, North and Africa region. That is a golden ticket event with $60,000 on the prize pool. You can go check all that information out at esportsroyale.com. There should be the link right there, more information there. And of course also, for those of you in North America, let me go ahead and change that tag from CRL 2021. You can also go ahead and there's a $20,000 non-golden ticket, but $20,000 event that you can also register for through ESL as well for North America. There will be some North American specific CRL qualifiers, but yes, if you did see Mo playing in something the other day, that is the ESL Snapdragon Pro Series for what will be our 3rd golden ticket.
Crazy how he went all the way in that bracket as well. I mean, no surprise, I guess.
Yeah, right.
Wow, Skeleton King is so OP. So many skeletons spawn for only 2 elixir. It's like a 2 elixir graveyard almost.
It's real intense, and you see the pressure it puts on here. It's definitely on many people's balanced wish lists.
This game's pretty even. Interesting deck choice by Hasiel. I've never seen this variation of minor control. But yeah, minor poison being his only win condition. He also doesn't really have a direct damage small spell. Usually it's paired with like a log just to get a little bit of extra damage. But with Morten having the damage lead here on both towers, it needs to be hard for Hasiel to come back. He gets a minor poison down though, so he's going to be starting to chip away. But so are those Goblin Drills.
And Wall Breakers might just, nope, Wyze does get down, does not drop the second one though. And that's brutal to spend that 4 elixir and not stop the second of those 2 connections. Here we go, sudden death overtime. Next tower that falls wins the game. And you see Morten with pressure in both lanes right now, lead in both lanes right now. Wall Breakers taken care of on the right-hand side. Drill picked up on the left-hand side. 557, 664, and Barbarian does not touch. Hasiel with some work to do here.
Wow, what a prediction for the Skeleton King to catch that miner. That was huge by Morten there. Really close game. I think Morten needs to start throwing his big spell. I'm not sure if he has one. Usually his deck runs Fireball. Might not have it though.
Wallbreaker can't get through. Skelly King not going to do damage as well. So Morten getting stuffed right now. And Dark Prince, that's an important connection on that left-hand side there. That Dark Prince going to make things real
100%.
bad here. 276. Minor Poison should go that way. Now Baby Dragon goes to the right-hand side. Baby Dragon on tower. Morten in a whole lot of trouble here. Hasiel about to take Morten out here in round number 1. Do the Wallbreakers connect? They do not. One Wallbreaker there sniffing the wall of the tower, but it's Hasiel. 2 back-to-back close finishes, and Hasiel moving through over Morten here in round number 1. All right, Sandbox is in. Let's go ahead and check out some Sandbox here. Let me kill this music. I gotta figure out how to get this music set right. Is that Solomon from the 2019 CRL World Finals? I believe so. Solo Man. Oh, he didn't qualify, so maybe it's a different one. Because Jane Kushal saying he didn't qualify. Okay. Well, I guess more than one person can have the same name.
Sandbox making it really far yesterday. I believe making it like to the semi-finals, but got knocked out by Muhammad Light. Oh, what a prediction! Log blue.
That was pretty. That was pretty nice. Nice save there by Sandbox with the Valk.
Mm-hmm.
Sandbox is a guy who, like, because I'm trying to remember what I've seen him win, right? He seems like he's always number 2 to number 4 in the world. But what are his number ones?
That's a good question. To be honest, I'm not 100% sure. I think he is just recognized as like overall like super solid player. But yeah, I mean, competitively speaking, he definitely you know, he just needs a little bump to get to that number 1 kind of spot there, I think.
Well, he's
always so close.
He's been right there. I think I remember the closest he got to a number 1 last year was when he got second with those brutal matchups against Ta at the I think it was our 2nd or 3rd monthly qualifier for CRL 2021. But yeah, he's definitely a guy who's consistently top 5, definitely top 10, pretty consistently top 5. But that top 1 seems very elusive to Sandbox.
Mm-hmm.
Master, he won 1 monthly final. I think it was was it the last one that he won?
So it looks like both players using the Archer Queen here in this match. I'm not going to be able to see any more Archer Queens for the rest of this best of 3. It's going to be interesting to see what decks they're using later on. But for this match, I mean, Sandbox is just kind of dominating. Probably one of the big things that's making this matchup fairly easy for him is he is like known to be a very, very good mortar player. Or not a good mortar player, but a really good World Giant player. And whenever you're playing against the win condition you're like really good at, I always feel like you have a decent like edge because you know exactly how you want to play in order to make it most annoying for them.
Well, right now Sandbox making things certainly annoying, getting multiple minors on the board courtesy of that 3-card cycle outside of the Archer Queen. RG's being controlled, mortar up high, although some damage will get on the right. It should be far too little, far too late. Although third RG down. There were 3 down for half a second there.
Wow.
Mortar does barely pick up. Minor connects. That minor connection very, very nice here. Log in on the left-hand side. Valk trying to stop here. 235. This RG not going to do enough damage in time. Lightning trying to help. Not going to do it. Sandbox taking game number 1.
GG's. That was well played from both opponents. It was getting pretty hairy there with the 3 RGs. That was insane.
All right, let's see. And now we do have, looks like we have Ta versus, no, is this, yeah, Ta versus Air Surfer. Here we go, so we can catch up with the last bit of this one.
Mm-hmm. Air Surfer bringing out a Lava Hound. Didn't see much of Lava Hound yesterday. Only saw it once, I believe. ASAF pulled it out versus Muhammad Light in the finals and actually got a win with it. Lava Hound Mighty Miner. Air Surfer leaking some elixir here. Maybe giving up. Nope. Just leaking elixir, waiting to get that next play. Getting a Mighty Miner and a zap on the mortar.
Just wanted to play full defense and build it up behind a push, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
That was Sandbox before. Lev asking, was that Sandbox? Yes, it was. And now here goes Lava Hound behind King Tower. Cannon Cart going for that King Tower side, though.
Yeah, I think this is why he was scared to Lava Hound in the back and decided to leak some elixir, because he knew right when he went with the Lava Hound, his opponent would probably punish him. Well played to Ta for that. Getting a lot of damage on the King Tower here.
Fireball does not get tower damage. Doesn't matter. Oh, those skeletons doing work. Oh, boy. This Lava Hound, second Lava Hound down. I don't know if it'll be enough in time to get a tower down. And this is just very well defended here in the final moments. Ta putting together a nice one against Lava Limb.
Yeah, GG's.
GG's indeed. I should have left before it stuck me in the game. Rookie moves here. Rookie moves.
I hate when that happens.
Yes, sir. All right, let's go ahead and check out what's probably going to be, I think, Kodigo versus Rad. Yep. Some of you wanted to see it. You'll see some right here. And thanks to Keep Calm, Stay Me 7-0. Oh, there's some people with some little like subs on Twitch. Hold on. Keep Calm, thanks for some 3 months of subs over on Twitch, dude. That's super awesome.
Ooh, the balloon connects.
Oh, and Yugi came in with a 43 viewer raid. I didn't even see that one. Thanks, Yugi.
Rocket comes down the balloon. These bats are looking scary, though. Even one bat connecting is huge right now for a Rad.
Hold on, I closed the tab I did not intend to close, folks. Give me 1 second. Too many tabs.
Looking like GG's from Rad here. He doesn't have a big spell, but all he really needs is a couple minor shots or maybe a balloon death damage to finish off this game. And there's the minor connecting.
GG, well played. Tower down. Rad taking, it's either game 1 or game 2 against Kodigo. A little bit difficult to follow in this format. And Rookie moved again. Sorry, I closed the tab, folks, and I was trying to reopen the tab. And let's go check out.
You could hop back on Sandbox.
Yeah, that Sandbox game. For sure. For sure,
Ooh.
dude. Good call.
Interesting matchup here. Lava Mighty Miner again versus looks like double barrel bait Inferno Tower. I would say Sandbox has a pretty solid matchup here. Blue does have the arrows for the Dark Gob though. It's just the Inferno Tower is going to be the main problem, I think.
Why are we seeing so much lava loot today?
That's a good question. I was going to say. Really nice Inferno Tower placement to try and snipe those one of those Skeleton Dragons before Lava Hound. And that works out pretty well. And we're going to go kind of push with a Goblin Barrel. This Mighty Miner is scary though. And now we can pop the ability probably, and he just is out of elixir.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Yeah.
That's going to be a chug, chug, chug. Nice log to keep it alive. That's so much damage, though.
Mighty Miner, it's insane. It's like placing an Inferno Tower on top of your opponent's tower in certain situations.
People wanted a Mighty Miner buff. Well, be careful what you wish for, folks. We're seeing the power of the Mighty Miner. The might, if you will, in action right here.
Yeah, once again, I really think Sandbox has a nice matchup here, but just that Mighty Miner making things difficult when Sandbox got a little bit too aggressive with the Goblin Barrel. And now he's got to dig himself out of this hole. Somehow create some pressure and take one of these towers. Maybe a double barrel. No, he's going to wait for his opponent. But I think Blue just has arrows in cycle here, or Fireball.
Yeah, Fireball arrows is pretty brutal when you're trying to double bait your way in. Yes, it's negative trades, but still.
100%, yeah. I think in this matchup, they both have a fairly hard time getting damage. But yeah, I think if Sandbox played a little bit more patient and just made sure to defend or had enough elixir to defend any Mighty Miners the bridge, he definitely could have come on top there. But props to Blue for clutching that one out.
Here we go, right back into Kodigo Rad. And you want to see more double bait? Well, guess what? Rad's playing it. Double bait down here on for your top player in Rad. And Kodigo looking like he's going to go 3M.
Yeah, 3M pump. I wonder if he's got the mirror variation or not. Rad goes with the log on the pump. That is a -1 trade. Golden Knights in the back. So this is an interesting mechanic we could see here if Kodigo has the mirror. Looks like he doesn't. But since you can't mirror champions, what a play that people make a lot of times, they'll pump up, they'll use a champion like the Golden Knight, and then they'll actually play another pump because it makes it so you can you can only mirror the next card that you play because you can't mirror champions. You only have one on the board. But no mirror coming out. But is quickly cycling back to another pump, and Kodigo's got a crazy elixir advantage right now.
I was trying to tell my wife food if it's possible, but I almost accidentally wrote if it's poisoned. So, yeah, that's fun. Here's a guy with a bad opinion. Crafter saying no burritos are not good.
What? Come on.
Yeah, that seems like maybe the worst opinion a person's ever expressed. I know opinions are supposed to be like what you feel, but your opinion can be wrong, and that's a wrong opinion. Golden Knight to the left-hand side, 2 pumps down here for Cody Flow. Probably, I don't know if this is his second or third or 15th account, and splitting the muskies. I think that the mirror version doesn't run Bandit, is that right? Or is this the mirror version you decided not to mirror?
Definitely doesn't have mirror. The mirror version, I don't believe has been. I think you're correct on that. Usually it runs like E-barbs. He probably has mirror. He probably has E-barbs in this version as well.
And those that Goblin Barrel goes to the pump and just gets absolutely shredded by the Royal Ghost. So nice positive move there for Cody, who's still behind. Keep that in mind. He does not have the lead right now, 1876 to 1762, but the lack of a big spell to deal with these pumps should be good news for him as he pumps up for the third time here going into sudden death.
To be honest, I don't see Rad winning this at all. I don't think it's possible. 3 pumps on the board. We have 3M coming down. He's going to do his best he can defend, but having 3 pumps down means insane amounts of elixir. Not only does this pump allow for positive elixir trades +2 just by playing it down, but it also allows you to basically stack up or bank that elixir for later use. And that's what he's doing right now. Basically pumping up as much as possible so that when he wants to, he can go with a huge 3M push, have that split lane pressure, and, you know, with 4 pumps on the board, he can take the tower whenever he wants at this point. He'll probably take it with this next 3M push.
Final 90 seconds here. And yeah, slow mode is on in chat, folks. It's not on super strong, but I might have to pump it up a bit here. And 4th pump down. And that's the game, folks. When you're playing pump and you don't see a big spell, it's can you stack a million pumps? And the answer is almost always yes. No minor.
This is terrible.
No big spell. Goblin Barrel ain't going to do it.
I really feel for Rad here. There's just not much he can do here.
This is almost meme level with the number of pumps out here. Golden Knight does go up top.
I was gonna say at this point, Kodigo is just messing around. Here comes the push. There's those E-barbs I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
E-barbs really apply a lot of pressure in this matchup and are super good on defense as well.
Not even playing the mirror variant, still able to get all of the pumps on the board. And let's go check out Air Surfer versus Todd. I don't know which one this is. Oh, Air Surfer playing Pump Bow. All right.
Wow.
All right, I'm here to see it. I was a former Pump Bow player for a few seasons. In the
I remember that.
When Snowball and Barb Barrel were both super strong.
Yeah.
I played Pump Bow Barbs back then. It is the only form of Expo that I like now. I don't like. I don't have an issue with Pump Bow. Of course, you know, Ice Rocket and 3.0 are annoying, but can Air Surfer break through here in the final 7 seconds? Spam, 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 spam. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
Wow.
Not gonna happen. Oh boy! And Todd does shut it down.
Yeah, I would say fairly decent matchup for Todd there, just because he's got the minor and the poisons for the pumps and the expos, and then also with the queen, having the 3-card cycle, but also when you're playing pump bow, a lot of the time not having a big spell either to help versus the Archer Queen or to get any extra like guaranteed damage.
This should be game 3 of Sandbox and Blue, so this should be the winner moves through game. I believe that's the case.
I think that's right. Looks like Blue's pulling out the 3M pump as well. We'll see if he's got the mirror. He definitely could. We haven't seen a bandit or an ice golem yet. E-barb's getting so much value.
Although this one being against an Earthquake deck, so this is a very different matchup than what we just saw.
100% agree. Earthquake, like we talked about earlier, the only true counter to the pump now. If Blue does have a mirror, he could potentially still get pumps down because of the fact that Sandbox doesn't have a super good, like, quick cycle with, like, the giant skeleton variation of Royal Giant. Let's see if he goes for the mirror pump here. I think it would definitely be a mistake because, oh, he does go for the mirror pump.
Wow.
So, mirroring the pump, no Earthquake and Cycle anymore. The reason I said it might be a mistake is Sandbox is going to try to pressure and get a lot of damage with this RG, but E-barb should come down, yes.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's Shred City. And now you have to defend the E-barbs, and there's a high-level pump.
Yeah, this is why E-barbs are so good in the deck, is because not only do they apply a lot of pressure when you decide to go in with your 3M, but defensively, they're like too many P.E.K.K.A.s. You can almost defend any ground kind of push when your opponent decides to go in.
And there was a very important question in the chat earlier. Let me see if I can go ahead and find that to bring it back up on stream. 1 second, folks. Tung asking, I don't understand how the bracket determines top 16. There are 2 brackets. There was one yesterday, one today, and you earned points for your placement in the 2 brackets. So it's the same players in both brackets. Players earned points yesterday for their performance. They earned points today for their performance. And the top 16 based on points and whatever tiebreakers there are after these 2 days will move on to our next round, next weekend.
Yeah, it's an interesting format. What do you think about it?
It's not dissimilar to what we saw for the Brenchon Cup format, although that was like, I want to say it was like 8 days of brackets or something like that. That was a much larger collection of brackets, although I don't know if those brackets were point-based or like, I'm trying to remember how the Brenchon one version went. I think that one was just like winner went through, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think the Brenchon was like that. That's why they did so many days, is because the winner from each one could qualify the next stage. But the point system here is definitely interesting. I kind of like it.
I think the format's good. I think that, you know, obviously the more gameplay sample you have is always the better. But I think the idea of combining a bracket, I mean, I really like the idea of where the winner of a bracket goes through and everyone else also gets points for the, like what ESL's doing with this, with their Snapdragon event, right? They're having 6 qualifiers where the winner of the qualifier is guaranteed through, and then you also gain points in each qualifier you play in, and so the next 10 slots are for people who qualify by points, right? So I like that hybrid method. I think that overall, like this, you know, there's been varied opinions about this golden ticket system for these early events for CRL 2022. I think a hybrid of what we had last year. Last year you had just points for the monthly qualifiers, but I made a lot of the monthly qualifiers. Some of them were kind of, you know, it didn't matter if you won a monthly qualifier necessarily. It gave you points, but it made some of the monthly qualifiers remove some of their hype a bit in some ways. And some players didn't play in later ones because they were too far behind on points. I think a hybrid of the two, where you get points each month for your performance, and where you get where the winner of a qualifier gets an automatic bid to Worlds. I think that combination is a really good one, and we're sort of seeing a very mini version of that here and a mini version of that with the ESL format.
100%. Wow, Golden Knight dashes on tower here. Full health Golden Knight. We use the Fisherman to pull it off. That's good. Bomb should clean up the rest. But the E-barb actually gets pushed towards the tower instead of away.
Oh, boy.
And it connects. Sandbox has the Earthquake down. It's not enough because of that Earthquake nerf. And wow, E-barb takes it.
Wow, and blue goes through, I believe. That should be game 3. So, Sandbox out. Morton out early. Sandbox out early. Top-tier players dropping left and right.
It's a day of upsets, I guess.
And that's why, okay, so this single elimination format, this is one of the challenging portions of it. It's also what's exciting about it going into the Kodigo game. Kodigo game 3 should be coming up here in 1 second. Yep, Kodigo Rad game 3 on your screen right now. And that's why, like, this idea of multiple single elimination brackets, I actually do like Swiss as long as they're shorter, right? Like, if I were designing the perfect format, it would be top 5 from ladder, or top 500 from whatever qualify, whether it's ladder, a global tournament, whatever kind of thing you want to mess with. Top 500 qualify, split that into 425-person Swiss brackets, right? So 7 rounds of Swiss, which is way more manageable than 9 or 11 or whatever it is. And then you move on from there. But even then, like with this one, with the single elimination format, if you have it taking place over 6 days or 8 days or whatever, you have more chances for if you have a bad day or two. This one is definitely punishing. To have you have a bad day or a bad match, and oh boy, there you go. GG, well played.
True that. So it looks like we have Kodigo running a Royal Giant deck, most likely, and then Rad with that like a bridge spam. Maybe he's got bridge spam drill, or maybe just a regular kind of bridge spam with like Battle Ram or Ram Rider. Interesting matchup here. I would say that it's gonna depend on the spell. If Kodigo has a lining for those Archer Queens and those Cannon Carts and the Electro Wizards, it's definitely gonna help him out. If he doesn't have a lightning and has a Fireball instead, there's definitely gonna be a hard time for him to break through with the Royal Giants, I'd say.
Crom saying Rad had MK minor, so that gives us some context there.
Got you. So MK minor? Like right now?
That's what he had in the previous match.
Oh, I got you. Oh, okay. That makes sense.
And the not often seen battle ram coming out, and so there you go. There's the context you need for it to be the actual battle ram here. RG getting a little bit of protection. Does that snowball make a bit? That's a clean snowball play out of Cody. What a beautiful play there. E-barb's all over that Royal Giant, but with the Skeleton King pop, Snowball makes enough room to keep it alive and get some shots in, and does not quite take the lead back, but puts him back in the mix, 1892 to 1747.
Yeah, I think this is why Royal Giant's so strong right now with Skeleton King. Like, the Skeleton King ability, it almost provides like a barrier or a force field or a shield of some sort to keep everything that your opponent's using to defend the Royal Giant away from the Royal Giant. And then, meanwhile, the Fisherman sits back and just pulls everything away as well. Usually don't see Snowball in this deck, but it's interesting to see. Snowball's definitely one of my, if not my favorite spells in the game, because there is so many different uses. It's ground and air, and it's almost like a mini freeze in the way that it can like really slow stuff down and knock stuff away.
Cannon cart gets pulled in tight. Fishboy Hunter, I think we watched this Fish Go Boom a while back, couple 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
And oh, Mrs. Layton coming in super OP, guys. I'm gonna let Juicy carry here for a minute because I just got eggs and French toast. That's a Sunday morning breakfast there, folks.
Oh, that sounds good. All right, so we got a Royal Giant, Skeleton King push coming through. Skeleton King ability is popped. The Archer Queen locked is scary. He gets the Skeleton Army pretty late, and once again, with no lightning in Kodigo's deck, it's really hard for him to break through all those high DPS, all those glass cannon units, E-Wiz, Cannon Cart, and Archer Queen. We got 50 seconds left in this game right now. Can Kodigo make something happen, or is Rad gonna take this dub? Let's see. Really, really big push. This is why Royal Giant's so popular right now. It's so versatile. You can use it as a beatdown deck like this. Get everything all in the same lane. The Fireball, that's a missed Fireball. We still have 2 Fishermen and a Hunter on the board. Another Royal Giant's coming down. What can these Fishermen do? That's 3 Fishermen on the board. They're going to pull everything. Royal Giant's locked to the tower. That's going to be GG's, I think. Yeah, that's GG's. What? I can't believe Kodigo made that comeback. Really good Royal Giant player. But, 3 Fishermen? Have you ever seen 3 Fishermen on the board at one time? I don't know.
Here we go. And I'm going to go let Juicy take it while I finish my breakfast.
So, Mateja running the 3M pump again. 3M just... I don't think that 3M is OP. I think 3M did get a little buff from that Musketeer buff a while back. But I think pump is the thing that's OP right now. And I think 3M is just what synergizes it with... or synergizes with it the most. And then from Angel's side, we have a Lava Hound Flying Machine Minor, and then a Bomb Tower. Interesting. Maybe having to use the Bomb Tower just because of a weird like setup of cards. We have an E-Drag and Skelly Dragons coming down behind this Lava Hound, and these 3M are going to get taken out really quickly. Those 3M are gone. A Hunter comes down to help defend the Lava Hound, but wow, that offensive sequence for Angel is really good. Gonna take the damage lead here. Overall, really good defense from Mateja though, and I think if he can just get some more pumps up, he's gonna be sitting pretty because Angel doesn't have a big spell. Wow, the counter push from the Golden Knight and the Hunter actually going to take the damage lead for Mateja. I didn't expect that. Bomb Tower not doing what Angel wanted it to do there, I don't think. And then we have an E-barbs to punish the Lava out of the back in the opposite lane. We have any sort of ground unit for this. A Barbarians. Okay, that makes sense. One of those E-barbs were locked in the tower. It's going to bring the right side down to 1096. And we're going to get the 3M all in the same lane once again. Let's see if Mateja can protect these 3M a little bit better than last time. Looks like we are going to get the Golden Knight down to help out. The Miner plus Arrows combo. does help take out 2 out of 3 of the Musketeers. We get a Golden Knight dash. This game is looking close. Angel is doing a good job of applying pressure, though, not allowing Mateo to get any pumps down. And at this point in the game, where the tower HPs are getting lower, and there's only 20 seconds left, it's definitely not worth the pump either. Hunter plus a heal spirit actually keeps that Hunter alive for a while. And we get a miner plus arrows, once again taking care of 2 out of 3 of the Musketeers. Is this Musketeer going to fall? It is going to fall. Flying Machine's locked on. Do we have anything for this Flying Machine? Hunter's out of cycle, 3M's out of cycle. That's going to be a good game. Honestly, a crazy upset here. I really don't think Angel was supposed to win that matchup, but he pulled it out of the hat. Wow. I'm surprised to see that, actually.
Let's bring it up. Against Nikoko. Okay. So definitely like 2 guys who were pretty well established in like the I don't know what a non-derisive term is, because you know, like, how do you qualify a pro versus a semi-pro? Or you could then say like qualifiers onto pro. They are both 2 fairly established players who do well in competitive, but are not A-tier competitive players. I don't know how else to say it. They're both better than 99.9% of people who play Clash Royale,
yeah.
But there's the 0.1 above them who separate that distance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely know what you mean, and it is hard to find the right word for that. I don't think they would be offended, though. So I don't think you got to worry about that. Interesting matchup here.
I mean, Giant Sparky seems to be around a bit more lately. I went through a phase of like, I didn't see Sparky forever, and now I've been running into a lot of, specifically, not even Goblin Giant Sparky, but specifically Giant Sparky I've been seeing more lately.
Yeah, probably came back a little bit into the meta. I think you're right, I've seen it as well, but I think coming kind of back in the meta after that Giant buff a few seasons ago, they did 4% HP to Giant buff, and because Giant had so much HP before that, 4% is actually a lot. So yeah, I agree. I also have seen a lot of this specific Giant Sparky version. It's actually very popular on ladder right now as well. I think he's gonna have a minion horde here, and yeah, it's I think generally why you don't see much of it in competitive is because Sparky and generally Sparky decks are very, what's the word? They're very
annoying.
Well, they're annoying, but they're also but it's kind of matchup oriented, right? Like, if you get a good matchup, you're probably gonna win. If you get a bad matchup, you're probably gonna lose. There's not a lot of outplay potential, I would say.
That's a good way to put it.
Let's see. This Sparky push is here, though. Trying to best defend. The Mother Witch is really nice in this matchup for the minions and the bats. To help clean up and spawn some pigs for distraction purposes. I think that's just GG. No big spell here for Nico.
Hold on, folks. I'm trying to see if I can... Ooh, let me try this. I'm going to see if I can bump your bit rate up a little bit and see if that improves the camera, the quality of your camera. So I think I can bump the bit rate up on my side.
Yeah, because on my end, it looks
yeah, so I'm
fine.
The bit rate coming through was pretty low. I'm going to see if I can bump that up and see if that improves things. And here we go. The match you all wanted to see. Wallace Jasper.
Now, I don't want to get flamed later. I always say Jasper, but I'm not good with names. It might be Jasper. I don't know, though. So
awesome.
Sorry if I have misinformation to some people.
I'm trying to bump this up to like... I'm going to bump it up to like 2,000. Let's see what I get there. We'll see if we get a little bit. Let's see if we get a little better juicy out of this one, huh? His bit rate was at 500, so.
Oh, that's pretty low.
Yeah, that's pretty low.
Anyways, we got a Graveyard match versus Royal Giant here. A really interesting variation of Graveyard from Wallace. Haven't seen that before. Archers, definitely a really solid card. And yeah, Jasper's kind of in the damage lead here. See if he can hold on to it.
How are the 16 players determined? This is day 2 of 2 single elimination brackets. Players get points based on their performance over the course of the 2 brackets, and the top 16 based on that move on. So this is day 2 here. Players trying to capture what points they can.
Jasper doing a really good job of blocking at the bridge here. It's really important when you're playing against Graveyard to block the tank from crossing. Richmond is actually going to pull... Okay, no, the tower is focused on those Graveyard skeletons. It does retarget to the cannon cart, and that's when those skeletons start to kind of swarm the tower. Candace in front of Dragon lock on. We do have Zappies here, and a Fireball comes down. Really solid defense. But, yeah, there's only 20 seconds left, and looks like Wallace has the damage lead now. Let's see if Jasper can come back. Maybe get an RG hit. Okay, the bomb does push the Thunder Drag away. The log comes down. We have 10 seconds. No RG hit. A Fireball not on the tower. It wouldn't have mattered, though, because the poison comes down. Wallace played that really, really well to break through at the end there. Graveyard's always very solid win condition when it's in triple elixir.
You said Pedro versus Moogie?
Yeah, you go all the way to the top.
Yep. There we go.
You got it.
Those of you who wanted to see Moogie, here we go. The defending world champion of CRL. The heartthrob of Japanese Clash Royale. It is Moogie.
Looks like he's got it unlocked right here as well. Mortar Mirror matchup. Prediction Snowball. He's just saucing him up at this point. Wow.
Yeah, well, it's Moogie, so you want to talk about the sauce.
Yeah, wow. That was impressive.
All right, let's see. I guess we'll jump back into the... Oh, wait, hold on. But who is this? This is whoever was playing QWERTY. Who is that? Let me just go ahead and double-check the bracket list for that one. Oh, that's Guriko. Cool. There we go. People asking where I get my sunglasses from. They're from Goodr. G-O-O-D-R. Let me see if I can grab the link for you guys. My stream deck has once again failed me. There you go. Use code RICH in the shop. You get 15% off. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
Looks like in this match we have a classic, well, not classic splash, we have Skelly splash. What? Did you see that golden eye dash?
Wow.
Did you see that? What was that? Oh my gosh, Golden Eye is OP.
Golden Knight is fun. It's the most. I think Golden Knight's the most fun I've had with a card. I mean, Champions certainly have brought a new level of excitement. Let's put it that way to the game. And I really do enjoy. I think Golden Knight's my favorite out of the Champions, just on the pure fun factor.
Yeah, my favorite is probably Skeleton King right now. I've been abusing Skeleton King a lot on ladder lately. Using this exact deck. What was his name? Cordy's opponent here.
Oh, Guriko.
Guriko, yeah. I actually using his deck on ladder right now, and Skeleton King is super good. He's definitely my favorite. He's always providing value defensively. Also, I feel like the Skeleton King's ability takes a little bit more restraint than the other cards. Like with Golden Eye and Arch Queen, it's more like, okay, if you can use the ability, you probably should. But with the Skeleton King, you definitely have to kind of make sure you're not wasting it, since it costs a little bit more. Well,
nice win here for... let's go to... This should be Agonyking Coco, I think it is. Yep, there we go. Agonyking Coco. As they reach their final 90, crosswise matchup. Mortar Miner versus Mortar Skelly Barrel.
Yeah, this is the other thing about Skeleton King is in decks like this, sometimes you see decks like this without a Mortar or without a Miner, because he does act as a win condition on his own as well. But Nico actually has like a Valkyrie, which is probably the best Skeleton King counter. So it'll be interesting to see how Admin can pull this off. Looks like he's going in with those Skeleton Kings while the Valkyrie's out of cycle. That's really smart.
And got a little extra chip damage on the King Tower there with the Minion Horde. Poison gets good value there, which we'll see if that's an issue as time goes on. But still getting some decent early damage. Dark Goblin does get 1 through, 2 through. 955 remaining on the King Tower as the Miner goes in. And goes in right to the Skeleton King. So falling further and further behind right now is Nikoko.
Yeah. That's the other thing about Nikoko's deck. I'm not sure, we didn't see the early stages of this game, but his deck is definitely geared to a 1-tower game. It's really hard to get some damage once it gets to that triple elixir with the 2 towers. And looks like that's going to be GG's trainer Adnan just applying insane amounts of pressure with all those different bait units.
GG, well played. And back to Pedro Mugi. Here we go. Mugi top of your screen, Pedro at the bottom. Go ahead. I'm going to grab some more coffee real quick, Juicy. Go ahead and take this one from here.
All right, we got Skeleton King, Graveyard vs. Skelly King, double barrel bait looks like. Seen a lot of double barrel bait today. I'm not sure why. To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of it competitively, mainly just because of the no big spell thing. I guess with the duels format, it does make sense though. In duels format, if you guys don't know what duels format is, this tournament is being played in duels format, best of 3, which basically means that you're not allowed to repeat any card. So if you play a card in game 1, you can't use it in game 2 or game 3 of the best of 3. And what that can cause is basically forcing players to use some cards that they're not super comfortable with, or that are normally are not in a deck. And it kind of shows in this matchup here, because I'm sure this deck doesn't normally use like the Skeleton King or the Royal Delivery, for example, or maybe he preferred to use a deck with a big spell. But yeah, spells being one of the most important parts of this game. It's definitely interesting to see, because obviously if you use Fireball once, you can't use it in the next match. But let's get into a play-by-play here. Pedro going to Tombstone behind his tower, realizing that Mugi doesn't have a big spell, taking advantage of that. He's going to be able to use these Tombstone Skeletons to help him out versus the Goblin Barrels in the future here. Going with the Royal Giant in the back, Mugi's going to do his best to basically fill up his Skeleton King ability, protect his princesses and his Dark Goblin to get as much value as possible. Because again, going against Pedro here, where he probably has the Lightning, keeping those princesses and Dark Goblins alive and on the board, as you can see here, to look double princess. It's going to basically allow him to have some very solid value from them. Royal Delivery here kind of wipes out everything. Royal Delivery, one of the most underrated cards in the game. Defensively speaking, it might be the best defensive spell. It's like a mini Mega Knight. Yeah, Pedro still hasn't used his spell, and it looks like Mugi actually misclicks a Dark Goblin. That's definitely a big mistake. It's going to be a clean -3 elixir trade, and Pedro's going to take advantage of that, fully RG at the bridge. Mugi doesn't have a whole lot of elixir. He gets the delivery plus Inferno Tower down, but look at that. There's that lightning we were talking about. Really nice lightning placement. Mugi tried to place the Inferno Tower out of lightning radius. He needed to go one more tile to our right if he wanted to get that off, and just a slight one-tile misclick is going to allow Pedro to get a nice lightning down and some solid damage and take that damage lead. And once again, here in this situation with double barrel bait with no big spell, it's going to be hard for him to come back, especially when it gets to triple elixir time. Pedro's going to have all the elixir he needs to deal with whatever Mugi is going to be putting out. Here comes a double barrel push. Does he have the Barbarian Barrel ready? He does. He's going to just lightning cycle. Interesting. I think that's a really solid play. Mugi's defense, once again, with the Dark Orbs and the Princesses, when played correctly, is very powerful. But he had that one connection he needed. Now he's just going to kind of play some solid defense and lightning cycle probably the rest of his match.
That's a rough turnaround here for Mugi. But yeah, I didn't obviously I didn't see the first chunk of the game because I was getting my coffee, and it's very good coffee, by the way, folks, those of you trying to figure it out. But final 30 seconds here, and Mugi can put a lot of pressure, but the general rule with bait is you don't want to bait from behind.
Yep. Yeah, bait's all about getting that early lead and holding it throughout the match. Coming back is definitely not his strong suit. And yeah, once again, just solid lightnings coming down from Pedro, and that should be GG's with only 7 seconds left here.
And not even concerned, the interesting thing about that situation, right? Look how far ahead he is. Wasn't even concerned about lightning, putting lightning on the tower that was lower. He was just, I'll just take these off the board here. So I don't know if that was game 2 or game 3. If anyone in the chat knows and wants to fill us in there, let me know. But either way, we know Pedro's won at least one game.
Yeah, I think that was game 2. Could be wrong.
Here we go, back into Jasper Wallace for you there, Juicy.
Yep.
And minor mortar cannon cart for Jasper up against RG Fishboy. And into that double RG on the board phase of the game.
Wow, double RG on the board, triple elixir, definitely hard to stop. He gets another mortar down. Wallace super good with royal giant decks. He gives one RG connection. We have to watch out for his Archer Queen. I'm not sure if he has the ability. Looks like he does not. And that Mother Witch applying a lot of pressure, getting a lot of value. Start spawning those pigs. 10 seconds left. Do you think do you think Jasper can make anything happen here?
Minor goes to the front. Dark Prince picks up, and that should be enough to hold this thing off here. Poison not going to tick far enough. GG, well played. Wallace, and I think that's 2 for Wallace there. So for the Brazilian fans, I believe that's Wallace going through. I don't know what the term is for celebration in Portuguese, but whatever that is, say it right now. And here we go, Guriko QWERTY. I think this is game number 3 on this one, and a deck that's fallen out of favor by quite a mile from Guriko, running the AQ Royal Hogs EQ deck, which was so popular.
Yeah, obviously after that Earthquake nerf, it definitely took a hit, but a lot of people on ladder are actually still using it. Not because of the Earthquake, but still because of how OP Royal Hogs still are after getting that buff a while ago.
Not to mention the Mega Knight nerf being kind of a big one too.
Yep, and then, yeah, the Mega Knight nerf and the Valkyrie nerf in these latest balances. Definitely Royal Hog is still very popular. I'm surprised we haven't seen, like, any change-ups in, like, the Royal Hogs variations. And looks like, yeah, that's going to be a clean King Tower activation.
And you saw the nice attempt there from QWERTY, maybe thinking that, I mean, maybe he was thinking he would knock the Fire Spirit far enough out of the way, or maybe he was expecting with the skeletons, the first part of that that activation chain.
So the activation chain, you get the skeletons and the spirits. And you're right, that was a fantastic snowball attempt here. I think if he got it down a little bit sooner, he could have pushed that Fire Spirit out of range of the Mega Knight, and that Mega Knight could have jumped onto the tower.
I think he needed to push it. I think that's almost counterintuitive, right? Like he was trying to push it away so the Mega Knight would stay on the Princess Tower. If he pushed it up, maybe the Mega Knight would have hit it and then turned away from the King Tower. So, you know, hindsight's 20/20 on that one. It was just kind of a funky Fire Spirit.
Solid defense, and the Earthquake cycle is still prevalent even after the nerfs. It's going to be GG's.
It was very, very nice. Very nicely played all the way around.
I took before I came back to do content. I actually played Warzone a lot. You ever play that game?
Yeah, I make fun of people who are bad at Apex, and I say that they came from Warzone.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
I've been meaning to try that.
I think we have Mookie Pedro game 4 here. Or game 3 here.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, I think that we're still on game 3 here.
That's what's been holding us up.
Yep. And, Juicy, do you have Revels? If you have Revels stream up, we'll also be able to know when matches are coming in.
Ooh, okay.
The Unstoppable Egg and the Immovable Chicken saying, what's up, guys? What's up, the Unstoppable Egg? How are you? Oh, I can, and now let me stop the music because we're not. You got to recalibrate all this stuff, folks. So double bait for Pedro. The Inferno Tower, not the ideal for the Hog, but not the worst. And of course, for that giant skeleton, it's actually going to be real OP if he can avoid the distractions that might come on in.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, definitely not ideal for the Hog, but definitely ideal for like a giant skelly Hog Earthquake push. Not only is Inferno Tower going to be tanky enough to tank the Earthquake and help kill the giant skeleton, but it is going to put out a lot of damage to help kill that big tank as well.
Yeah, some people asking what deck I'm using right now. Right now, I'm playing a deck that I got from Jax, the well-known bridge spam player. And it's Skill Drill, Golden Knight, Magic Archer native. Not with wall breakers. It's just Drill, Magic Archer, NATO, Golden Knight connections. Giant Skeleton sets up in the back on the right-hand side. Go ahead, Jason.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, speaking of Golden Knight, we have a Golden Knight to help counter this Giant Skeleton. See if we can get a connection with it, maybe an ability now. If he used the ability right when he was expecting that Hog Rider, we could have probably got a connection on that Musketeer. But overall, really good defense. Earthquake chip comes through a bit there. And reset.
Yeah, it's really interesting, right? The timing of the Golden Knight can be so important, and there are these little windows where, like, if you're playing against it, you try to hit a window where you can sneak past, and if you're playing Golden Knight, the quick trigger on that ability can be such a game changer when someone plays, especially with bridge stacks, right? I mean, this one wasn't the right one to do it on, but the one you talked about beforehand with the Musketeer in the back, like, that's that kind of moment that can be a game changer if you get it done.
100%.
Nice.
Interesting. Yeah, kind of out-cycling the Golden Knight here. That is the one bad thing about the champions, is that obviously you only have one of them on the board at a time, and after he dies, it's still going to take 3 cards to cycle back to the Golden Knight. So kind of out-cycling it here, and because of that, getting that late Golden Knight to help defend made it so he was able to sneak that hog through.
And left-hand side barrel completely shut down, and that Musketeer, I don't know if Pedro was planning on dropping an Inferno Tower there to deal with the Giant Skeleton, or if he was already planning to do those guards instead, but that Musketeer definitely felt like it was trying to say, hey, no chance here for that Inferno Tower. This one does a good job now, full-on double bait push. Log takes care of essentially both baits, plus the bomb tower up high. So, Juicy, at this stage, right, 42 seconds left, you got to play some pretty significant defense. You're up against Log, plus Fire Spirit, plus Bomb Tower. What does Pedro do to try to get back in here?
Honestly, he's going to have to start throwing some rockets. He does have Rocket as his big spell here. Yep, there it goes. There's the Rocket, and now we have to have really good defense and cycle back to another Rocket. So he needs to prevent all Hog damage, but the Hog getting pushed over by the Giant Skeleton. And Fire Spirit connect on the tower too. That's definitely GG's from Mugi here. Well played from both sides. I think he needs to get that in front tower. One more tile to the right because of how big the hitbox on the Giant Skeleton is. That's why Giant Skeleton can synergize with Hog a lot. Not only is it going to be able to push it away from buildings, but any defense that we're using for the Hog is going to get blown up by that Giant Skelly bomb.
That was a nice big win there for Mugi, and looks like Guriko and QWERTY are in their game number 3. So this group was lagging a bit behind. And what an interesting Minor Wall Breakers, a very heavy Minor Wall Breakers deck that takes the tower here out of Guriko.
Yeah, for sure.
So you do see, though, lots of damage left-hand side. In case you're not paying attention, that's 290 remaining on the left-hand lane. So QWERTY certainly not out of this one. Of course, a 2-tower game, not his ideal in this matchup. And you're going to see, just happy to go ahead and eat that Electro Spirit and set up to the King Tower side right now is Guriko.
Yeah, I think the reason he let that Electro Spirit connect is because he knew his opponent would probably have Rocket. It's interesting to see QWERTY pull out an Earthquake actually in this bait deck. Almost always runs Rocket. Maybe he used Rocket previously in a different deck and he has to use Earthquake. Or maybe he was trying to snipe something specific. Mega Knight connects on the King Tower. Yeah, I think Guriko is really looking to basically take a little bit of damage, to deal some damage right now. That's what he's going to do right here with the Mega Knight. He actually defends that barrel perfectly with some wall breakers to tank, though. And yeah, now he's just trying to build a big enough push in order to get some damage in here. It's going to be hard to break through that really good defense of the Cannon plus Dark Gob combo. So.
Yeah, that's the big math here, right? Like, so you talk about that not defending the Dark Goblin there at the end. You understand the reasoning to a certain degree, but 3 seconds left, it almost feels like defend that Dark Goblin, take the risk that maybe QWERTY doesn't have the right card in cycle or have the reaction time to pick up what he expects is going to be that lack of defense, because, yeah, now no big spell for Guriko. Difficult to get any significant tower damage here. Yeah, he has to build up big and break through, and QWERTY feels like he can kind of sit back, play defense, and lightly throw a few offensive pushes here and there, but does not feel like he has to really put the pressure on.
Yep, it's going to be hard to defend those Goblin Barrels perfectly, especially with a Zap instead of like a Log in this deck. And yeah, Cordy's also going to be sending in those Earthquakes to cycle some damage through as well. Like you said, we really need a big push here, maybe some dual lane pressure to force Cordy to make a mistake defensively. We can get the Miner on the tower, but it's not going to get too much damage with that cannon there. As you can see here, Cordy just kind of stacking cannons as well. With no big spell, it's going to be hard for Guriko to get damage, but it's also going to be hard for him to deal with the cannons and also the Dark Gobs, like I said earlier.
Miner does go in right onto the Dark Goblin.
But it fails to take it out. It's going to be forced to zap. Those wall breakers, though,
This
two
is a big
Mega Knights.
tank.
This is the big push we were talking about. We do get a wall breaker connection.
And now, why is he Miner the inside there rather than the outside there? Is he trying to get everything to come together? Oh my gosh, look at this.
Honestly, he's only trying to kill that Dark Goblin, and he did succeed, and that's going to make it so these bats and everything are going to have a higher chance to connect, and that's going to be GG's.
Wow, just absolute pandemonium there on the inside corner, the craziest fight. And you saw QWERTY nearly able to hold off on it, but Guriko, man, what a hot bit of play there to go ahead and get it done. Currently, arguably tied for #1 player in America right now with Air Surfer. That's a debate you could have.
Yeah, I mean, I have so much respect for Air Surfer, but if it was my opinion, I would say that Ian77 is definitely the best one in America right now. So yes, going in against looks like a Mortar Mirror matchup. Interesting. Looks like we have a Knight versus Cannon Cart here. I think the Cannon Cart could help D.I.M.A.S a bit here. And I mean, obviously D.I.M.A.S also having those Royal Hogs. So it'll be interesting to see how this match goes. Royal Hogs taking the damage lead here, though.
Bracket is in the chat there, Barney Brawl Stars. So it's linked in the chat, and it's also in the description of the video. But there's your bracket. You have to switch the tab to Q2 to qualifier number 2 to see today's situation. So make sure you're doing that, those of you following along at home.
Interesting. So it looks like Mortar Miner versus Mortar Pigs. Both having Cannon Cart. That Cannon Cart's still alive. Do we have something for it? Okay, we have the Knight.
So interesting variations here, right? You see like this Mortar Miner Cannon Cart and then Mortar Royal Hogs, and it's funny. So I made a short a while back of the Mortar to King Tower activation. You know, the one you can do with skeletons or spears or whatever. And the most common comment that I get on that one is, yeah, but it's Mortar, so who cares? And you're seeing right here that most people are not running this Mortar cycle decks. They're running Mortar Miner, Mortar Hog, Mortar GY, Mortar Royal Hogs, whatever it is. So certainly a valuable. Even in the example I even use in one of the videos, is I actually do a video of a video of someone doing it during like a $20,000 game.
Yeah.
And people saw that same comment, and I'm like, you just saw him do it against a deck that also had Miner, you maniac.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I 100% get what you're saying. Like, the King Tower activation is almost always useful against Mortar decks because they're always paired with another win condition. And I think that's generally just because, like, Mortar is such a solid card, but it also isn't, like, guaranteed to get damage.
Cannon Cart left-hand lane. That's going to be D.I.M.A.S game #1. So Ian has some ground to make up here. Here we go. We're in. Ian, bottom of your screen. D.I.M.A.S at the top. Do you guys know the lineup for the casters for this tournament? Yes, me. And then whoever joins me. Eric, Kim. There are casters in other languages too. But welcome to my world, sir. Don't worry, when we're doing like the top 16, we'll be more dialed in. This is more of a... Because it's harder to follow the... So let me clarify. Because it's harder to follow the storylines of a day like this one, I don't take the casting as like, you know, we're not all buttoned up. And like really hitting every single note. When we get to the top 16 and the storylines are clear, then we'll be more dialed in. But here we're kind of bouncing around, having some fun, hanging out. The qualifier stages are always kind of more watch party-ish than full-on, you know, caster mode.
So it looks like it's a roll hogs versus hog mirror match here. Speaking of mirror, D.I.M.A.S actually bringing the mirror in this match. Can we get a King Tower activation? No. Okay, he's gonna get it with the skeletons though. So that's gonna really help Ian for the rest of this match. Like King Tower activations are definitely underrated. Going with the mirror hog though. Again, queen here. And a log. Ooh, still not enough. Even if the King Tower activated, at level 13 hog, it's got a lot of health. It's hard too.
Pig's right-hand lane. Picked up by the Tesla up high. Valk doing its work. And this...
Wow, I can't believe those pigs switched lanes. It's going to be crazy amount of damage.
That was nutty. Hold on. Oh, because the Tesla pulled into the middle and they were far enough over. Got it.
Yeah, the Tesla pulled him over. The Valkyrie might have pushed him a little bit as well.
And no hog hit.
perfect
That's
defense.
actually pretty huge.
100%.
And just goes ahead and I don't know about that mirror cycle there, but obviously with hog EQ you have so many ways to counter for low damage. I mean for low elixir cost. But in this matchup, I don't know if you have that same advantage you would normally feel.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it was a good play. At this point in the game, it's going to be really hard for both of these players to break through with their win conditions. And so a lot of it's going to be Earthquake Cycle from here on out. Wow, keeping this queen alive is so good. Not only is it going to provide defensive value, but the 3-card cycle is the biggest thing here.
Yeah, I think that mirrored EQ was an overcommitment by far, in my opinion. Like you're still only in double elixir. You still have 2.5 minutes of gameplay left, and you spend 4 elixir just for tower damage, that puts you in a hole. Like if we're going into triple, like I totally get that, but it seems like at that point it just put him way too far behind elixir wise.
100%, I get that. I think that honestly, personally, I think he could have got away with that earthquake if his defense was a little bit cleaner. But Ian did such a good job of protecting the Arch Queen and getting so much value out of it that it definitely bit him in the butt there.
This should be Harold versus Hasiel. There we go. Harold, whose name is also Boss for some reason, up against Hasiel. Wait, is Boss's real name Harold? No, that's not right. That can't be right. Jay, you would know better than I would.
I don't know. Like, are you talking about Boss CR?
Yeah.
No. This is not Boss CR. But it's interesting to see so many people bring out Hug Earthquake today, even after that Earthquake nerf.
Yeah, I mean, again, well, the big part of it you think about, though, is that we started playing dual modes, right? So you still have to play 3 games, potentially. You still have to play, 24 different cards over the course of a matchup. Right? Is that right? Yeah, 24 different cards. So, it's still... There are a lot of things that maybe aren't as popular ladder-wise as they once were, but that are still really viable competitively. And probably 100%. Still pretty decent ladder-wise, depending.
Yeah, I guess the thing, even after Earthquake nerf, the thing about a Hog Earthquake, it is just consistent, right? Like, even though that Earthquake doesn't do as much damage as it used to, consistency in the damage is still there. It is like one of the cheapest, quote-unquote, big spells in the game where you can get that tower damage. Most of the time, fairly uncontested. Like with Rocket or like Fireball, if you're going for some spell cycle, you can get punished fairly easily. But a 3 elixir spell, it's not that much of a commitment for the amount of damage that you can get.
And delivery high does not pick up the wall breakers, so Fire Spirit comes out, and NATO. That's my favorite play when you're talking about NATO plus drill, but maybe not the opportune moment for it because that Tesla gets down late, and that's going to give Hasiel a GG here. There's no coming back from that one. And just to get back to the EQ mirror, GG well played. I love that play to pull stuff away from the drill as it pops to get drill damage, but it's more of like a killing blow maneuver or an I'm up on elixir maneuver than it is a let me play my #1 hog counter against hog while we're still in double elixir maneuver.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, no, it's Ta versus Arden. Here we go. We'll throw this one up for now. That's a nice lightning. Arden in a good spot here. Arden Toas. There's like, if there's a list of people who were rookie, who like made their debut, Arden's a guy who came into the league late last year because he was too young. But he's definitely one of those guys who, this year's format creates more questions, obviously, especially with us not knowing how the August through September portion of CRL will function. But he's a guy who, based on last year's format, I thought would have been a shoe-in for World Finals this year. Now with 16 players, a bit of a difference. It's more of a question, obviously.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, I think generally like last year's kind of format was also geared towards, you know, some players that were like one tricks could definitely succeed. It was possible to succeed just based off of getting points from ladder. But with this format, I think it is definitely more geared towards like those like longer, like more consistent players, or that have been in the scene for longer.
Yeah, but I feel like if you look at the people who made it to Worlds last year, even people who made, yeah, if you look at the whole like top 32 from last year, there's not like I don't remember seeing like a ton of one tricks in the top 32 who like actually made World Finals.
Oh, 100%.
Right,
yeah.
and like so I feel like last year's World Finals. Let me go ahead and switch this. Let me go and let's see. Let me know if Ian is in, by the way.
Yeah, Ian just found a game.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and switch back to that one then. I thought last year's format did a good job of finding the best players. I just think the only thing I would have changed was I would have put golden tickets in that one just to make the monthly finals have more pop to them. I would have done a hybrid like I was talking about earlier. You know, a few 8 golden tickets and then 24 other qualifying spots based on points. LCQs, that sort of thing. But yeah, I think that the fact that I don't know anybody who truly earned a World Finals spot purely off of ladder. Right? It's not a ton of people who did that. There's a couple.
Yeah, I don't mean anyone like really like getting a World Finals kind of thing, but I definitely think there is like some success that could happen. But yeah, I definitely see what you're saying though. Like, yeah, he definitely wouldn't have been able to just do it off of just ladder. But I just mean like with this format, if you are looking to succeed or win any of these golden tournament, or get any points or whatever, or get a chance to get into that qualifier, you do have to like be kind of you know, consistent. You have to be a little bit more trying to find the right words, but I feel like a little bit more like accomplished maybe. You have to be able to like take your experience, because like obviously with ladder and then like the other ways to get points with the monthly qualifiers, there is like an aspect of comfortability there, I think, for some players with ladder. But like with this kind of format, it is like for him, if he's like just turning 16 or just turning old enough to be able to play, like not being able to play in these tournaments previously is going to make it a little bit more harder to qualify, in my opinion. Hopefully that makes sense.
Sure, yeah. I mean, like, well, that was Arden last year. Arden and Hasiel both, and Adriel. Like, all guys who I think started playing halfway through the season because of age. I know Arden and Adriel for sure. But those are both guys who, in last year's format, seemed like they had really, like, were the next upcoming guys, and Arden Toas certainly has been impressive. But yeah, this year with the change in format, golden tickets, kind of throwing some craziness into the engine. And then, oh boy, does this Mega Knight stay alive long enough? No, it doesn't. Does Mini P.E.K.K.A get in? Fireball saves, but look at these. This defense doesn't hold. Oh. Wow, what a defense by Ian.
Perfect. That was insane. Everything was perfect. He made sure to keep the Mega Knight off the tower. And the Barbell, the E-Spirit at the end, really clutches things up. E-Spirit's one of the best cards in the game right now. Usually in these quicker cycle decks, but also in RG. Just so consistent.
That was wild. It felt like something had to touch, but Ian just holds on to everything here. Royal Ghost does get down in time. Mega Knight does not get man.
Ian's got a masterclass right here. This is some really well played defense. The one wall breaker does connect though. But overall, he's a fantastic damage lead right now.
Well, this is dangerous, though. Has to fireball this? No, goes with the E-Spirit instead. Hunter into the middle to hold on.
Those wall breakers, though.
Oh, and they both hit because the Princess Tower was focused on the mini P.E.K.K.A in the middle. The wall breakers both hit, and now just like that, D.I.M.A.S back in the game. Ian trying to play defense here. Bats get zapped away. That's going to be one more shot here, and 165 remaining. Arrows plus wall breakers. Bar Barrel doesn't save. Bar Barrel doesn't save, and what was looking like an absolute clinic out of Ian turns on its dime, and D.I.M.A.S takes the win. And then Hasiel still in. Let's go ahead and jump on Hasiel. And then, yes, I know a lot of people like Moogie, 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 Moogie. Shout out to you, who I know is watching right now. But let's go to round 4. But, ooh. Oh, that's yesterday. I was like, wait a second. That would have been a good matchup, but that was a yesterday matchup. Let me go to round 4+. Adnan beat Moogie. Oh.
No way.
Okay. Well, guess we're not watching Moogie anymore today, folks.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh! Did you see that golden eye dash? That made no sense.
Bro, that's what you get for running 2.6 in this meta. Or anytime past 2017, to be honest.
I was going to say, I got respect for him for pulling out the 2.6. This is a terrible matchup here. Hasiel's got a cage and a tornado for those hogs.
Dude, 2.6, it's a content deck. It's a content deck now. Are there players who can perform admirably with 2.6? Absolutely. The exception proves the rule. 2.6 is now a content deck, and he might even win. He could even win this one. He could win. He's up against Golem. Oh, he's playing it with Bomb Tower instead. Fascinating.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. That is weird. Maybe he played Cannon in a previous deck.
Yeah.
Also, Bomb Tower is just really good, though, just in general. Like, it is really tanky. Really good Hog, but Cage is back in cycle. Really bad Snowball. Maybe just trying to get some ship.
Yeah, I mean, this is a matchup that Harold, who is boss here, could win. He could win this one, but guys, 2.6 is a content deck.
Wow,
maybe
okay,
2 shots
Hog
though,
actually
maybe
connects.
3. 3 shots in, yeah.
Musketeer didn't cross either. He's gonna have to do something, maybe a Golden Knight. And here comes another Musketeer as well to snipe that Golden Knight. Really interesting. That Golden Knight ability is gonna be tanked by the Ice Golem. Musketeer's getting lots of value. Does he have another Bomb Tower of his Golem though? He
Nato's
does.
late. Guys, even if Harold wins here with this almost 2.6 but not quite, it doesn't change what I'm saying being 100% right. That 2.6 is a content deck now. Even if it occasionally wins.
Okay,
Right,
can we get a Hog here?
Hog still
my
hits. That's crazy. Yeah, that's absolute craziness.
What do you think, Rich? Does Hog need a nerf or not? There's so
no,
many,
Hog's the most balanced win condition of the game.
I know. I just see so many comments on my videos and stuff about nerf Hog, nerf Hog.
Hog is basically the most perfectly balanced card in Clash Royale. So I don't really know what to say about that.
Yeah. Okay, this Hog's not going to get hit. We got 40 seconds left. A Golem at the bridge.
Yeah, people are saying, a lot of people are in the chat like, by the way, if you want to get reactions, you want to get people angry, just say that 2.6 isn't the greatest thing of all time. People are like, I think this person, I think Ursa would disagree. If this would say 2.6 is a content deck. There are a few players who can do pretty well with it. They're not getting #1 on ladder. They're not getting top 10 on ladder with it. They're not winning competitive matches with it. This
game's getting real close.
Yeah, this game's getting dirty. He might win this game. He might win this game with his Bomb Tower version. Doesn't change the facts, folks. Not gonna do it.
Wow.
GG. Oh, Lightning, not quite.
Wow.
GG, well played.
GG.
So he played Snowball, Bomb Tower, Poison instead of traditional 2.6. We have both Yersin and Oyasa running 2.6 and top 20 ladder. Are they finishing top 20 with 2.6 right now? I don't follow outside. I'm not outside of the top 3. I'm not like seeing who's finishing top 20.
After the Hog Earthquake nerf, you'd be surprised, Rich. 2.6 is actually fairly used right now. I think I saw Pedro #1 in the world with it the other day.
Early ladder though. Let's see what the finish is.
It is early ladder. You're right. I agree with you that I don't think that there will be a lot of top. I don't think there will be a lot of 2.6 players in the top 10 or top 20 here.
All right, here we go. Got it. Wallace versus Guriko up now. So the question was 2.6, skill, no skill, or some skill but overhyped. 31, and I give a fourth one, which was C results. 31% of people said skill, 16% said no skill, 47% said, which I think is fair, some skill but overhyped. And if you remove the 6% who just clicked to see the results, about half of all people said some skill but overhyped. About a third said skill, and then the remaining said no skill. So there you go. That's a definitive, and that was 700 votes, 701 votes. So solid sample size there. I think that's the definitive ruling. I think that we've now officially, I think we've decided officially what it is. And I'm sticking
Fair
to
enough,
it.
I guess. This matchup's interesting. Looks like Wallace is bringing out a Tesla for his deck, which honestly is going to help him out a lot. Tesla, one of the best anti-earthquake buildings. With this placement here, one tile away from the river, he's not going to Guriko, his opponent's not going to earthquake the Tesla in the tower, so he's going to opt to hit those zappies instead. Tesla getting some nice value versus the giant skeleton.
Pigs to the left-hand side. It's interesting, like, how certain decks just survive, right? This Fireball bait deck has just survived. It's
yeah, 100% agree.
Been around in variations for a long time.
Yeah, especially with pigs being one of the best win conditions right now. Definitely makes sense.
AQ gets a few shots on the right-hand side. Quite a lot, actually. 21-52 the mark. So lead on both lanes now by Guriko. As Wallace splits his recruits. 3 left, 3 right. Pigs go split as well.
Yeah, I think what Guriko needs to do in this matchup is he needs to kind of make a dual lane pressure with like maybe multiple Royal Giants, maybe utilize the Arch Queen 3 card cycle in order to do that.
That Dark Goblin and Flying Machine just took all of the things you think he needs to do and threw him out the window, it feels like.
Yeah. The thing is I don't think Wallace is ever going to let him do that just because of the fact that he can easily apply dual lane pressure as well on his own, and doesn't require him to get multiple win conditions down. Just requires recruits, maybe some split roll hogs, and he actually has the poison as well. Poison plus arrows is going to be able to clean up everything as well as get a lot of tower damage.
AQ stays alive for a second though.
Yeah, I see that. That's going to be really good for this counter push.
Royal Giant controlled by the Tesla. Gonna hang on for a second. EQ does not get the Tesla, gets tower damage instead. Dark Goblin stays alive. Flying Machine doing its work. That's gonna be a few shots in the RG though. 13:38, 45 seconds left. And can he stop all these Pigs touches? No, 1 does, 2 does. 398 remaining left-hand lane.
Wall needs a defensive poison here maybe. He's gonna opt for some recruits and a Tesla. That works just as well. Tesla actually snipes that hunter. It's going to be really good for him.
Giant Skeletons in the front, playing cleanup duty, though. And look, he's trying to keep this as Archer Queen on the board as long as he can. Hope that maybe he slides on through. She goes into Cloak. Picked up by the recruits, though. Good recruits drop here, and that should be it. That should be Wallace holding on. Pig split. Plenty of damage on the right-hand side. Guriko knows it's over. Wallace going through to round number 5, our quarterfinals. We're down to our top 8 today.
Poison's kind of a weird...
Sorry, folks. Sorry, folks. I had not switched the screen.
Poison's kind of a weird deck to have with E-Giant because it's not really good at helping you break through the buildings. But it's really helping in this matchup, actually, because Poison logged one of the only spell combos that can take out the Archer Queen.
All right, I see all the... I switched the screen, guys. The only good comment, it was Radio Edition. Well played, Desperado CR. I didn't put the gameplay up. I was trying to get all the info sorted out.
Radio Edition, I like that.
Yeah, that was the only good comment. I mean, this is interesting because I hated playing against this deck when it was the Lightning version because I was playing Hogs EQ AQ last couple seasons. But a Poisoned edition does not bother, like as in boss / Herald's position doesn't bother me at all. Not by comparison.
Yeah. This game is really close. It's basically Earthquake versus Poison right now. They're doing a lot of spell cycling, but yeah, boss has a lot of much quicker cycle, so he's able to get more Earthquakes down.
Log down, and Fire Spirit does help out with the Inferno Dragon, 348, 531. High Electro Giant. But Log, EQ, just needs one more Earthquake to finish things off. Poison in. And the Earthquake will do it before he can. And Hasiel, no! Not going to get it done. It's Herald moving on. So boss, but not boss. We'll be moving on to the next round, it looks like.
Yep.
Boss, not boss. That's his name. Boss, not boss. There we go. GG, well played, folks.
I guess we got the round 5 finished out here. Or getting ready to go. We got Herald versus D.I.M.A.S, Famouskid versus Ardentos, ArchAngel versus Faust, and then Trader Adnan versus Wallace.
Sorry, I get the vibe that Rich isn't a fan of Golem. What would make you say that? Any of my Twitter posts? Are you in my clan?
Not a fan of the big rock, huh?
No, not at all. I don't know. I mean, I'm also not a fan of like dictatorships or taking candy from babies or.
Jeez. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, me neither.
All right. So pretty even game here so far. One bat touch on the left-hand side does take off the sweet spot there on Famouskid's left-hand tower, but at the moment, Famouskid ahead 25-02 to 24-16. Log will take it close. 1 HP difference on these sides right now.
We've been seeing a lot of this Giant Skeleton Hog Goblin's Fire Spirit deck. It's interesting. Looks like a lot of fun. Looks just really solid defensively as well. We kind of saw the power of, oh, Wallace just hopped in the game. I don't know if he wanted to switch or not. Just let you know.
Wallace. All right, chat, vote. Switch or stay. Everyone vote right now. The next 30 seconds decides whether we switch to the Wallace game or stay on this one. Get your votes in fast.
And we also saw like the power of the Giant Skeleton Hog combo.
Everyone's saying switch, so we're switching.
All right.
I saw way more switches than I saw stays. I saw it fast, so we're switching. Here we go.
Over here on Wallace's side, we have Adnan coming in with the Skeleton King Graveyard. Looks like Wallace is playing either Pigs or Hog. Most likely Hog Earthquake.
Here we go. Wallace Adnan. Sorry to those of you who voted stay. You got outvoted by a lot, and every once in a while, I choose to let the people take control. Or at least I listen to their opinion. But other than that, no, I do as I please. So fun technique here, not relevant in this matchup, but I've been meaning to talk about it today. I have a short about it. I saw someone post about it on Twitter. I think Surge TS posted something about like how if it weren't for Japanese Twitter, Japanese CR Twitter, we still wouldn't know that log counters Goblin Barrel, which I think was one of the funniest. Someone roasted it for it. I'm like, no, that's the funniest thing I've read because it's so true.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I learned a few weeks ago about this maneuver where you can counter Fire Spirit with Fire Spirit, but without yours taking any damage and without your tower taking any damage, so that you can then get a +1 trade and have pressure the opposite lane. If you're on YouTube, I have a short about it here on this channel. You know, I'll go ahead and link. Let me go ahead and grab the short and link it. But if you're playing if you're playing a deck with Fire, Heal, Electro, or Ice Spirit, it's best with Fire Spirit, obviously. It only works against Fire Spirit, but it's a super valuable technique to have in the pocket.
I wonder if Wallace can make a comeback here or not. It's going to be tough. Taking a lot of damage from Graveyard in the early game here. It's definitely not going to help him out. Generally, with Hog Rider, you're going to be wanting to get the damage early, and Graveyard usually gets better the longer the game goes on. So taking that early damage deficit is going to be really tough to come back. Freeze comes down as well.
There you go. That short with the... Oh, no. Inferno Dragon connects. GG. All right. Game 1 for Adnan, who's starting to put up some numbers today. Let's go take a look at... I'm going to go take a look right now at who Adnan has beaten today, because his run has been pretty nasty, I have to admit.
Got a Baby Dragon and a Golden Knight here.
Here we go. All right. Hey, Rich, how come 2v2's not a thing anymore? Because we switched off of... Because there's no longer competitive format with teams, and 2v2 is more popular in teams. I still think, and if you talk to most pro players who played in the 2v2 era, most say that 2v2 is actually like the most competitive format in the game. And it's actually a beautiful game. When you know what you're watching, it's actually gorgeous to watch a good team work together. Yeah, we switched back to a solo format, and so we play only solos.
I 100% agree with that. I used to play a lot of 2v2. Definitely very competitive. I think the reason why a lot of people think it was highly competitive is because there's a lot less matchmaking kind of oriented stuff, and a lot more like communication oriented kind of skill.
Yeah, the matchup is totally different when you have 16 cards on each side, and you can hedge your bets more than in 1v1. And yeah, you're talking about the communication. The times where we saw, I mean, there's one shout out to RF and AC, but there was one where I saw, like, can't remember like what the move there was that they did, but it was a 2-part move where like RF ended up NATOing a golem to the opposite lane. Like, there's so many like fun plays like that where you go, oh, it's this quick communication. These guys able to work together can really pull off some big time stuff.
A really good golem from Wallace here to basically tank that Golden Knight dash. And we have a counter push here. The lightning comes down the Inferno Tower, but I think Adnan's got enough elixir to deal with this. He's going to get a couple chip shots. But overall, Adnan's looking good. This is another one of those matchups where it's double barrel bait. He does have that damage lead. It's not by much, though. He needs to keep applying pressure. And Wallace is just trying to get deeper into this game. The further towards triple elixir and like overtime that you can get, the better off he's going to be.
Cannon cart behind a fairly big downhill push. Delivery cleans up most of it, and Cannon cart not going to get any sort of support in front of it. But, oh, the guards get down just in time and do hold on. 1634 to 2390. Here we are, sudden death overtime. Remember, Adnan does have the lead here. He is up 1 game at the moment. So a win for Adnan is a win overall in the match, and he moves on to our semifinals.
Big golem push coming down from Wallace. We're probably going to see mainly some air units here, like Baby Dragon and Mega Minion, maybe Golden Knight. He definitely does have to save up for that lightning from the Inferno as well. I really like his choice to go with the Baby Dragon and Golden Knight because they're very spell resistant.
Spell resistant, and that lightning with the Golden Knight trigger to go in and take over the damage if necessary. That's a huge swing. Damage all over the tower. And there you go. Wallace takes it back. And that's Golem for you, baby. Here we go. Annihilator has rips. Tips for lava from 6.3 to 6.6K. Yes, switch to a different deck. I don't want to see you. I don't want to play against you because I struggle against lava with my current deck. So here we go, and Adnan looking like some sort of Mortar Miner cycle deck. We'll see if that's the case. The Snowball's an interesting piece in this one. And then Wallace. Well,
Wallace, I was going to say Royal Giant, but
then the Mega Knight comes out.
Mega Knight.
Doesn't that feel more graveyardy?
Yep, 100% Mega Knight graveyard here. Let's see. It's going to be interesting to see what Adnan's big spell is. If it's Fireball, it's definitely going to help versus Zappies. If it's Poison, it's going to help versus the graveyard, the win condition.
Mortar does get 1 connection. GY in, no tank for it, but now the GY tanking for the Inferno Dragon. Fireball goes high to keep it off the board. Good Fireball, or good Fire Spirit, not Fireball, Fire Spirit play. So, a little bit of a dangerous moment here, but avoided. And now Miner to the back, knowing he's not up against NATO.
And looks like Adam is going to have Poison. It's going to be interesting for the match. I think overall, Poison's going to be better for him because in a pinch, you can always poison those graveyards. And then offensively, Poison's pretty nice as well because 4/4 Elixir, Poison does more damage to Crown Towers than Fireballs. So it's going to be a little bit easier for him to be able to chip away with the minor Poisons rather than minor Fireballs.
And maybe the most, like, okay, I guess against competitive players, it's not been quiet, but against the rest of the community, the buff to Tombstone has quietly, somewhat quietly resurrected Tombstone, specifically in graveyard decks. But man, that double skeleton spawn is so obnoxious. And it changed a lot of things, including it changed the way that Golden Knight and Bandit interact with Tombstone to a massive degree.
Yeah, 100% agree. Like, Tombstone, I would say, is probably top 3 buildings for me right now. Just its distractibility is so good. But we also see it paired with, as you can see in Wallace's deck, we also see it paired with the Skeleton King a lot because it does a great job of filling up the Skeleton King ability.
Inferno Dragon does go down. 20 seconds remaining. Miner goes to the back. Valk high. Poison to work against the Tombstone. It does pop it, but not in time to get the Valk in. So damage lead will still be held by Wallace, but by an ever so slim margin, 21-56 to... Sorry, by trainer Adnan. My mistake. I misread a number. Adnan still holding on to the lead here by a couple hundred HP. Graveyard in, this time with a tank, though.
Oh, the missed Fireball on the Arch Queen, though.
Oof.
That's going to be big. Mortar's going to come here for the counter push. We have the Arch Queen ability still. Maybe using it on a Skeleton King here. Yes. It's going to kill that Skeleton King. Tombstone does such a good job of distracting the Mortar, though. Always outputting those skeletons.
And Mortar does get shut down here, 1750 to 1936. 90 seconds left, so 30 seconds away from triple Elixir, which is where I believe the swing does go towards Wallace when we hit triple here. So it's a question of how much of a lead can Adnan build during that time period, and how well does he hang on against the likely onslaught here. And I love this. I was going to say, does he ignore the miner here? And he does. I love ignoring the miner in this situation. It's absolutely huge.
Yeah, ignore the miner. It is interesting. The Inferno Dragon actually locks.
Yep.
We have a snowball. There's a snowball. Okay, he's still alive.
Alive, but huge swing in damage, and that Valk gets burned off as well. So this was a big one.
100%. And there comes those poisons. He's confident in his ability to cycle back to a poison on defense. He's going to high Arch Queen to prevent Fireball and spell value on the tower.
Wow.
Looks like Wallace chooses just wipe it off the board to prevent that extra DPS.
Early pop on the Skeleton King ability. Keeps Skeleton King taken out there a little bit longer. Mega Knight gets picked up by the AQ, it looks like, distracted with the Skeleton's high. Graveyard in, Fireball in. Lots of damage here. Graveyard doing a ton. Arrows to clean off, and that should be enough. 20 seconds left. How much minor poison or even a mortar? One mortar connection could totally change things, but is there any way to get mortar on tower right now? Absolutely not. Poison in, snowball behind. Miner trying to get on tower. Miner gets one swing. Miner gets two swings. Miner doesn't get a third swing. It does. 606, poison down, but the arrows plus Fireball plus Graveyard plus all the different things that Wallace has thrown towards Adnan get the dub. And was that game 2 or game 3? Was that game 3?
That was game 3, I think.
Wallace moving on to our next round. Yeah. GG, well played.
GG's. Let's see. Wow. It's gonna be Wallace versus who in the semifinals?
Hold on. I will answer some YouTube questions in a minute, folks. Let me just go ahead and make sure we're keeping up with the gameplay that's happening here. So it's gonna be Wallace versus Faust and D.I.M.A.S versus TRB. We're gonna have to watch Wallace Faust. I mean, that just has to happen.
100%.
Can Juicy J release an ISPO video? I don't know, Juicy. Can you release an ISPO video?
No, thank you.
All right,
I'm good.
Arden's playing. We have at least some action here. We'll wait. As soon as Wallace Faust starts, we are going there.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Yeah, Jay will let us know. Probably will happen right when something cool is happening here.
True.
Let's see. Tips for uploading content. Uploading content like uploading lava gameplay for 10 minutes. Is it good? I don't even know what that means.
Og EQ versus Mortar?
Pokemon says, see your subscribers, you devil. I don't know what that means, but yes. Or no. I don't know which I'm supposed to answer there. All right. Arden, Hog EQ. Pretty classic variation of Hog EQ here from Arden.
Mm-hmm. Firecracker. Firecracker probably is my favorite card. I have so much fun with her.
I mean, there was a time when Firecracker was the most annoying and OP and, like, every pro complained about it card in the game. 2019, I don't think there was a pro who wasn't, like, visibly upset by Firecracker's existence. I feel like now Firecracker's in an okay place and also, like, almost underrated right now. Like, still pretty strong, but not loved.
Yeah, I mean, she's still super good when, like, you protect her, and she can get lots of value, but she's not, like, a instant positive elixir trade like she used to be.
I've seen the question, what's Rich's rarest item from being a caster? A plush, maybe a toy? No, and I'll show it to you in between games. When we have our next big break of downtime, remind me, and I will show you my rarest item that I have from being a caster. Mortar up high in the middle. And again, so those of you who are watching, if he plays, it's actually 50-50 whether it's a good idea now, although it's still going to be an okay play. Mortar in the middle like that, you can play Skeletons same lane, one tile up from the King Tower, or right in front of the King Tower. If you drop them when that timer hits 3/4 of the way done, you can activate King Tower there, which isn't going to be insanely impactful here, but against Royal Hogs, especially if we start seeing D.I.M.A split lanes with those piggies, it can be pretty impactful on split lane play. Skeleton not in cycle, though, plus Firecracker will distract it anyway. Doesn't matter, their EQ in 10:33 left-hand lane. Here we go, final 70 seconds, and it is Arden Toas in the lead up against D.I.M.A.
Yeah, I think that D.I.M.A is in a pretty rough spot here. It's really hard to come back against the Earthquake cycle here. Especially the Tesla, such a solid defensive building. And D.I.M.A doesn't have a great way of breaking through the Tesla either. Poison just a little bit slow on the amount of damage it can put out.
Final 40 seconds. AQ to the right-hand side. EQ cycles to the left-hand side the opposite way for Arden Toas. Pigs in the middle. And kind of abandoning mortars right now is D.I.M.A so far. Wants to save those for Hog Riders if they come in. And we'll see. He's going to have to go high with the mortar here, and yes, he does. One inside, though, as the AQ connects on the right-hand side, picked up by the Valk. 784 to 1583 right now. Final 20 seconds. CC D.I.M.A doubling down on the right-hand side. Can he break through? Tesla high. Mortar controlled by the Firecracker. Poison down to pick those pigs back up. Knight is not going to connect. Cannon Cart is not going to connect. Valk does its job. Poison in. EQ working. Nothing can break on through. Arden Toas with a very nice bit of defense here at the end to save game number 1.
Yeah, I mean, we could see right there, like, how much value that Firecracker on the left really got. Not only did it control the map, not allow that opposite lane mortar to get any shots off, but it came all the way back over from the very left-hand side and helped out versus the Spear Gobs, the Cannon Card, Arch Queens, as Royal Hogs. Super valuable Firecracker there.
Yes, there is a Golden Mega Knight behind me for somebody whoever saw it. That is not that rare. It was a World Finals gift. And then I also have a Golden Princess from 2018. Also not super rare compared to everything else, but yeah. But my Gold World Finals pin, that's my rarest one for sure. I don't know where that is, though. That's annoying.
Let's go. I think Wallace is running the Splash Art here. One of my favorite decks. And looks like Faust is running Sparky. So it looks like... Oh, what the... We have Sparky Royal Recruits coming out. I think this is a good matchup for Wallace, though. Generally, Sparky decks are going to be pretty good since we have the Tombstone, the Graveyard, and the Skeleton King abilities to help out and distract those Sparkies.
That's really... Oh, this is what's going on. The problems with some of the time is ESL is at the same time right now, and some of the European players like Faust are playing in both tournaments. And since both are CRL related. So that's been part of the delay.
That's impressive, though.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. I don't know where D.I.M.A.S is playing from. I think D.I.M.A.S is somewhere in Eastern Europe. So I don't know if D.I.M.A.S is playing in both.
This guy is hog recruit Sparky Rich.
Who is this? Someone's weird one-trick deck? It has that feeling, doesn't it?
You're probably thinking of Final Forms deck with like Sparky Roll Giant Hog, but this is something I've never seen before.
Yeah, no, I know Pheno. I know the Pheno deck. Sparky recruits Hog Rider.
Yeah.
That's pretty insane. Pretty
yeah,
much.
See if you can get a dub with it. I don't think it's gonna happen just because Splash Yard is so good versus all of those cards individually, like the Hog, the recruits, and the Sparky, and especially since we have like multiple Hog Rider counters, Wallace should be able to catch a W here as long as he doesn't make a fatal mistake like that.
Oh boy!
Oh,
and that's Sparky for you. Still,
Sparky there.
The damage from the Skeleton King opposite lane plus the graveyard damage. So right now, Wallace does have the lead in both lanes. He gave away the all-important Sparky hit. Tombstone does pull. The Rage is bananas. Rage is generally bananas. Hog does hit. Huge hit for the Hog. 758 left-hand lane. Baby Dragon going on through, though. And Heal Spirit to control. Baby Dragon gets one blow, though, and that's big. 598 left-hand lane. Barb Barrel for pressure.
Minions come down for that Barb Barrel. Faust, he has to do something crazy. Something even crazier than he's been doing so far if he wants to win this game. He has to surprise Wallace. Or like maybe attack when he's not expecting, but with Faust's tower all like under 600 HP, it's just gonna be a couple graveyards away, really.
And recruits down to work against that graveyard and the skeletons from the Skelly King. They're gonna defend an okay amount of damage here, but still give up. Whoa, never mind. The skeleton's in the back. Skeleton's in the back, and he does not get a counter push out of it as well. Just a couple of broken recruits. Guys who washed out, but still somehow are continuing to go. Pig in, doesn't get a shot. Might do it. No, the Ice-Wiz comes through clutch. 1270 remains on the right-hand side.
And I think this counter push is going to do it. We've seen a graveyard, a Barbaro, really good technique there. As you notice, the tower is actually distracted on that one Barbarian for a second there. Allows the skeletons to really accumulate around the tower, and that's going to be GG. Wait, like that's the one?
That's the N64 that I bought when I was in like junior high.
Looks like they are in...
Yes, sir. Saved up my own money. Played a whole bunch of at the time it was WWF, WrestleMania 2000, and WWF No Mercy.
Gotcha. Yeah, I have no idea what that is, but that sounds cool.
They were fun. THQ, solid developer when it was around. Here we go. Wallace up one. And
Faust using?
With the rarely seen Ice Golem. Is this going to be a... Whoa.
Yeah. I was going to say, probably a balloon, you know. That's what it's going to be.
Minor in to pick up the damage, but AQ goes high. Snowball not in cycle for the AQ.
Is this balloon? Oh. Balloon connects for two.
Okay.
Wow.
Nicely put together sequence there by Faust. Minor got in time, and the AQ did not do what it needed to do to clean up that Loon, and now Loon again.
Another one. Is he back to Inferno, or is he going to have to use a Fireball here?
It's not the Fireball, I think. Yeah.
But the Snowball might allow this balloon to connect.
Oh. And it's just one of those things where it's like, how prepared... I mean, Wallace is bringing in Inferno Dragon, or Inferno Tower, so you feel pretty good about that. I mean, like, you know, Inferno plus Fireball plus AQ, you feel okay, but, like, who's playing against Minor Loon Cycle right now?
Yeah.
How often are you seeing
To be honest, I mean, to be honest, you don't really see Loon Cycle very much. We see Lava Loon a couple times in this tournament. Loon Cycle, this might be the first time. To be honest, I think Wallace has a great matchup here. Really, really, really good matchup. But honestly, just choking a little bit. His initial Inferno Tower placement was one tile too far to the right, or his right, towards the tower. And it made it so that Ops Lane Tower wasn't able to help on the defense, which allowed those early balloon hits. So Faust just, you know...
taking advantage.
Yeah. playing extremely well. I think Wallace just gives up here.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's it.
Oh, never mind. Never give up mentality, maybe?
I think he's 50. I think he's like can't decide if he really wants to do.
I would definitely be tilted in his situation. Yeah, I don't think there's much you can do to come back in this situation. We talked about it many times before, but Minor Wall Breaker is just one of those decks. Or sorry, not Minor Wall Breakers. I mean, Minor Wall Breakers would be better. Just have the extra win condition to try and get some damage in, but just simply Minor Fireball is not going to be enough.
GG, well played. Back here. Going to game. This is game 3, right?
Yep.
Game 3. Winner goes on to the finals. The winner, by the way, the winner today has a guaranteed spot in, as opposed to having to deal with points and of course the seeding as well.
I wonder how they're going to do the seeding, like for the 2 winners. Like who's gonna be 1 and number 2? I get maybe they'll base it off like crowns or some, or maybe like overall wins and losses.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't remember the tiebreaker situation here. Naruto Aziz saying he's happy birthday, my big brother. He's a big fan. Hey, happy birthday, dude! Keep getting older. It's better than the alternative.
Rich, what do you think about a potential skip to double elixir button? I've seen other people like think or talk about that. What are your thoughts?
That's interesting. Like they both had to press it to be able to do it?
Yep. Like you'd confirm in. Because this happens a lot, obviously.
Honestly, I don't think this happens. I think that this is so rare now by comparison to maybe it's more common at like top ladder end of season. But like I feel like in competitive, I probably see this fewer than once a stream at this point.
That's true. I did see it happen once yesterday and then just his first time today.
Right?
I was just wondering.
And not even waiting
like,
all the way. I mean, yeah, I see the feeling, but I don't know if it's like if we're asking where do the devs put their effort into, I think that a skip to double elixir button is probably low on my priority list.
Mother Witch is so annoying.
Pokemon BG saying someone gets a drop glitch and they restart their match. No, since we are playing fully remote, all like you're responsible for your own connection device, whatever it might be. If we were playing live, then we'd have mods could then like it'd be more convenient for league ops to go and review issues like that. But no, for mobile, your connection is your own thing, your lag is your own thing, glitch is your own thing. Just cycle slower, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. But what are these? What is this matchup right now? By the way, we have an E-Giant Zappies versus a Mega Knight Mother Witch, a bridge spam with Fisherman. Definitely some odd decks. That makes sense. This is the 3rd game in the best of 3 here, so definitely some limits on what cards can be played.
Yeah, I mean, there are still certainly some deck pools that make sense, but also remember we just saw nonsense out of Faust a minute ago. Or at least,
true that.
Maybe not nonsense, but like not current meta by any means.
I would call it nonsense, but...
So, I mean, this is kind of all over the place. Honestly, Faust deck is a little bit more meta than whatever Wallace is running, but hey, like I'm in an E-Giant matchup. Fisherman plus Ram Rider sounds like a great thing for me to have.
100%.
This definitely feels like some coaches and analysts getting their money, making their value known in this matchup.
True. Ooh, that was a really good tornado to pull that Mother Witch in, allow the Dark Prince to splash. Kind of a back and forth here. They're kind of just, I guess they're kind of just tickling each other a little bit, and they're waiting for that triple elixir. With this triple elixir coming on, it's going to be a bridge battle here on who can get the most value out of their cards. I would say that Faust has a good chance to win the bridge battles because of his nice tornadoes. Looks like we have a Graveyard coming down as well.
What are we doing, dude? Oh, this is fun. This is what we're here for. Mother Witch does her job.
So much value, though. Let's see. Does Wallace have a big spell? That's my main thing. He does. There comes out.
1520 to 2003. Electro Giant is going to get past that Inferno Dragon. Fisherman gets fairly confused here, but does pull the E-Giant all the way away from the graveyard. I was so
no
broke.
tank.
This deck is so weird, and I was so broken I forgot what all the words were.
Yeah. So many zappies on the field. He's definitely making the right plays by getting all these zappies down. Zappies are really good at retaining decks. Can this Graveyard get enough damage to outclass those arrows?
Oh, wow. Wallace hangs on by a thread. 53 HP. Somehow, that did not take it. GG, well played. Wallace through to our final. All right, here we go. Finals. Wallace, Arden Toas. Game 1? It's been so long. Is it game 1?
Yep. Game 1.
Dope.
Interesting. Maybe a mirror match. Also could be like E-Giant from Wallace's side. Interesting. Looks like it's probably going to be a Golem deck versus Agonyking.
And Hog gets one shot here. 2485, the number, with 2 minutes and change playing. And there you go. The
log is interesting. Yeah, I was going to say, probably not Golem. Weird deck here by Wallace. Pigs, Cage, Cannon Cart, and a Mother Witch. Looks like he was trying to... he's probably just casting a wide range, expecting a couple different decks to come in from Arden.
Does he King Tower activate here? Yes, he does. Oh, the pre-EQ almost got it done. I mean, Arden with a real fancy move there that just doesn't quite pay off. Man, that's one of those predictions you want back.
That's one of those annoying things about the Firecracker. Sometimes she does shoot stuff that isn't there anymore for some reason. Yeah,
that was wild. I posted it on TikTok. I had a Golden Knight dash that the troop it was going to got erased, but it still dashed to that spot anyway.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
I think it was already like maybe too far down the line of correcting. But yeah, I won the game. It was pretty nice. And
that
prediction
really
log
nice.
does not go to the right side. The Ice Spirit goes to the outside rather than inside. Cannon Cart does get stymied here. So 2 predictions get undone here. And so far, we're still pretty tight with the slight lead going towards Arden.
These hog hits are adding up, though. Wallace needs to do a better job of preventing those hog hits. His cage placements need to be a little bit farther down. Ideally, you want that Goblin Brawler to spawn directly on top of the Hog Rider after the cage itself dies.
You can fully counter, I think is what you're getting to here, with cage versus Hog.
Absolutely. So, really good cage placement here by Wallace to basically pull hogs from either lane. But my guess is Arden, just can cycle back to another Earthquake. Earthquake log killing Mother Witch now as well, since that change they made to her health. Defensively speaking from Arden, it's fairly simple. That Tesla plus a Valkyrie, maybe an Ice Spirit on some bats when needed. It's all you really need. It's going to be hard for Wallace to break through that really good defense.
Solid log here, though, as the Pigs go split 2-2. Tesla to pick up, a Cannon Cart tanking and getting that Tesla off the board. Pigs will get away. Not going to be a ton of damage here, but enough to put some pressure on as the cannon goes to that right-hand side.
Nice. Back to a Valk. So, I mean, Wallace needs to keep up the pressure, which he's doing now. 2 Pigs actually bypassed the Tesla from a misplaced Tesla from Arden here, so we have 2 Pigs on the tower.
That's Tesla for you, though, dude. Even a top-tier player. Just that the weird difference from that in every other building with the 1 tile or whatever it is, like the 4 tile placement rather than the bigger placement of other buildings. It's just like it's so easy to fat finger a Tesla in a way that you don't with any other building.
The reason why it's especially difficult is there are some true red, true blue interactions with the Tesla. Depending on whether you're true red or true blue within the game code, you could be placing Teslas based on the top upper left corner of it or the bottom right corner of it, so it changes between games. So it's hard to keep that muscle memory.
Oh, Cannon Cart stays alive. This is actually really big right now for Wallace. Fireball and Cannon Cart does go down, but does help, and that Pig will get a little more work on the left-hand side. 850 is the mark. 25 seconds left. Arden behind, has to play into this left-hand lane here, but instead goes full Valk Hog send, right-hand side. Cage picks up. Piggy's trying to break on through. Cannon cart being held. Log to clear. Royal Hog, or Hog Rider to distract the cannon cart for a second. Not able to break through here, though. Does this Hog get a shot? One shot could be everything. Doesn't do it. Fireball down. Wallace taking game number 1 here, and is one away from being our other guaranteed qualifier next to Mohammed Light. Here we go. Wallace with a chance to get the guaranteed spot. He's already has a spot with points, I believe, but Arden and Wallace both looking for that guaranteed first seed spot in their side of the bracket. Wallace up 1 right now. Match point. Tournament point for this qualifier.
So we get a Skeleton King and a Tombstone from Arden. Either going to be Roll Giant or Graveyard. Still could be either after seeing the Zappies. And then from Wallace, looks like we got maybe an Archer Queen Miner Mortar, or maybe just Archer Queen Miner Control.
Skelly King in deep, not going to do. Oh, he does decide to pop the ability just to get the queen off the board. Oh my word! Does he actually get some skeletons damage here? Forces the Fire Spirit out. That's where Skeleton King gets totally cracked, right? You're like, why are you popping it so high, but still able to put so much pressure on and force Wallace to make some weird choices?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy just the amount of skeletons he really spawns. For 2 Elixir, you're getting even more skeletons than a Skeleton Army, I'm pretty sure, with that max out ability.
Miner to the back, picked up by the Inferno Dragon. Damage does get through, though. Pretty close, 2820 to 2860, 40 HP separating these 2 players. Wallace, of course, now is regarded as a top-tier pro, but for the first couple years of CRL, he was just one of the better guys in the semi-pro scene. Was playing through the Clash Contender Series and through another number of other semi-pro competitions. Even played in some of the streams. I used to host a weekly $100 tournament on my channel. Wallace won a couple of those. Was always very, very good, but it was young. There wasn't a lot of opportunity to move up amongst the Brazilian teams at the time. At that, when Wallace finally got the call to CRL with Pain Gaming in the 2020 season for that fall, everyone saw what he did, especially clutching against the juggernaut that is Nova Esports. 7-0 he went against Nova Esports in CRL World Finals, pretty much putting Pain Game 3 all on his lonesome. And the Arden is looking to kind of repeat that same story. Has been one of the better young players, one of the better under-16 players for a while. Turned 16 late last year, and as you can already see from his results so far here and, of course, in the ESL North American tournament, his 2020 is already off to a pretty good start. 2022.
Yeah, Arden calling kind of an early GG here just because Wallace was able to get that double queen ability. Whenever you get 2 queen abilities from 1 queen, it almost always spells for a positive elixir trade and some solid damage. And that's exactly what happened because that queen ability got some very nice mortar shots on Wallace's left here.
And just setting up the tombstone behind that weak left-hand tower, 1331 remaining over there as the poison comes in and adds to that margin. Final minute 45 in sudden death overtime. And so far, Graveyard has not been a key factor. And you can see that Wallace has been having to play poisons offensively, not even worried about having to defend against this double-layer Graveyard Skeleton King push, although this is a lot coming down the board right now.
Yeah, arrows on the Spear Goblins, and we're already back to another Spear Goblins because of the 3-card cycle from the Archer Queen. Arden doing everything he can, but the defense from Wallace is so good.
If
generally versus Graveyard, oh sorry,
I was going to say, like, that cannon cart was so close to connecting, and if it did, that would have been a very different game.
True. Yeah, that's gonna be GG's here. Generally, the Queen plus Roll Delivery combo does fantastically versus Graveyard, just because the Queen can obliterate those tanks very quickly, along with the Roll Delivery, which makes it so the tower can actually focus on those Graveyard skeletons.
And that was a brilliant play. Really great stuff by Wallace all the way through. What would you expect from a guy who's been my dark horse, who was my dark horse pick for all of 2021, and of course is now back hot here in 2022? All right, so here you go, folks. This right here is the standings. I can't do it without blocking our faces, so I'm going to have to block our faces here.
Do it.
That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do this. There you go. So here are those top 14. Yeah, we're kind of in here. Here are the top 14 who will join Wallace and Mohamed Light next weekend right here for the Queso Cup Golden Edition Championship. Arden Toas, Faust, ASAF, D.I.M.A.S, Ian, I think that's Ta, ArchAngel, Sandbox, Thiago, Famouskid, Tytoń, Harold. Who is Harold?
That's that boss guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but who's Harold?
I don't know, man.
Moogie, and then I remember I can't remember who number 14 was. Someone said who it was. It's someone who's pretty good, but I can't remember their name right now.
I forget too, because I know RS is Ta. I thought he was Ta, but
no, Ta. Yeah, Ta's up there on number 6. Number 14. Anyone remember who number 14 is, real quick? Before we end this on YouTube, Twitch. Hang around. We're gonna find someone to host or to raid over on Twitch as we always do. But there you go. I can't remember who that last one is, but it'll be posted on Twitter, I'm assuming, very soon. And, of course, you'll see them back here next time around. Curry. It's Curry. That's right.
Oh.
Curry.
Oh, I should have known that.
Yeah. There you go. So that's who's making it to the next round. Of course, ESL is also happening right now. If you're trying to qualify yourself, there are still 4 more qualifiers for the EU MENA region. That's Europe, Middle East, and North Africa region. So if you're in that region at all, you still have 4 more qualifiers for the ESL Snapdragon Pro Series. If you're in NA, there are still a few more qualifiers remaining. I believe 4 more for the North American $20,000, no golden ticket, but still $20,000 competition happening right now. And of course, there's going to be some more golden ticket tournament announcements coming very soon. Make sure you check out 3 Crowns on the Clash Royale official YouTube page. Next episode coming out in about a week, for a little less than a week for you to go and get that information. Juicy, dude, this was super fun hanging out. Glad we were able to make this one work. Glad I saw your tweeting about wanting to come and do this. So happy to have you. Any last thoughts or words for the people before we sign off?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you, Rich, once again, and it was a lot of fun, and I definitely made the right decision, I think, to cast instead of play. It was amazing.
Dude, it's great. It's great having you here. Twitch, hang out a bit. We're gonna find someone cool to raid, as we always do. YouTube, it's been fun. As always, be excellent to each other. See ya.